scare. Oh, hi. Hoping you guys can hear me, see me. Yeah. I always find YouTube really strange. Like, not YouTube itself, going live on YouTube. I always find the setup process is very odd. Let me know if you can hear me, please. But yeah, happy 1K or over 1K now. I'm really sorry it took me so long to get into actually doing a live. I've been here for ages in the 1K land, and yeah, I'm so sorry, but I'm here doing it now eventually, and I'm hoping to do them more often. It's been a hell of a day, absolute hectic day. So I'm really hoping that you can forgive me for being a little bit later than what I expected. It was meant to be 5 o'clock, between 5 and 6 is what I said originally. But the one thing I do need to do is you're gonna come with me now. You can't see me doing it, but I am going to X out. Can't tweet out. It's not Twitter anymore. I'm about to tweet out about the live, but I have no idea how to grab the link from that player. It might be really bad internet for a few minutes. So apologies. By the way, who has watched Oppenheimer? Who has watched any of the new films? You know, Barbie, Mission Impossible. I have yet to see Mission Impossible or Barbie, but I have seen Oppenheimer. I've just got done editing the review today, in amongst a billion phone calls that I didn't think would stop, and other project stuff that I need to get on with, which is what I'm going to be busy with for this next week. Hence why I've got stuff scheduled for the week, but I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to do much with it. So I've tried to schedule enough. Yeah, I've got 2 videos ready. One's The Last of Us episode 9, the final episode, and then the other one is this review, the Oppenheimer review. I'm waiting for the. So I've got a copyright claim on the Oppenheimer thing because I used some of the trailer footage in it. I tried to edit it. I didn't just put me to camera and me waffle on. I tried to edit it a specific way, so it was a bit more nice to look at. And because of doing that, I have. Sorry, I'm still trying to get this link, and I don't even know if you can see me or hear me. You probably can't. Yeah, because of that, there was a couple of times I used a fair chunk of the trailer instead of chopping it up like I should have done. Most of the time I did that, and most of the time I cut it up into segments. But the majority, sorry, this 2 segment piece, I didn't do that with, so I might have to redo it, as in re-edit those moments in it. Give me 2 seconds. I'm sorry. I haven't even got the chat window up, so if you are saying something, hello, I'm sorry. Every time you go onto X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it now, I get greeted with the "Get Verified" button. But I'm never going to do it because I'm not going to pay for Twitter, X, or Twix, as I'm going to start calling it. In fact, I have started calling it. Whenever anyone mentions it, I say, "Oh, you mean Twix?" You're seeing my resting face, my concentrating. Actually, my concentrating face. I think I do it quite often in reactions, and I'm like trying to figure out what's going on, and I feel like yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't give a very good face. Give us a sec. I'm now going to put it on the community tab. I would have put it on threads as well, but the computer doesn't have threads. I'll have to go onto my phone, which is over there, which is fantastic. Oh my god. I should have done this before I went live, but I didn't, as you can tell. I think that's it. Yes. I like how on YouTube's community I've put going live on YouTube. Of course you are. You're live on YouTube. Hello guys. Yes, you are. Mic's very low. Oh, sorry. Help me. It could be. I don't know why the mic's very low. So apologies. Why is the microphone low? I'd say I'd deafen you, but give me 2 seconds. I don't know if that's going to be better. Testing, testing. Hello. Oh, I think I know why. Because I added a gain, not a gain, a filter to it. 1 sec. I added the filter because I thought it was going to sound awful, as in the air. And is that any better? You can probably hear me a lot better now. I hope. Just please let me know. I know I normally crank it up in edit. What was that? Did that? Hello? Testing, testing. I mean, if I have my if I speak straight into that, I'll probably be fine. 2 points of note. I wish your classic Doctor Who reactions were more frequent. I know. I'm sorry. So I've been trying to get them out quick, and I do want to do them quicker when I can. But obviously, because it's just me editing everything, I'm having to do these other projects, which I am trying to get out of the way because they're projects that I had from before. Hey, Sean, you're right. I'm hoping you guys can hear me. Hello, Eric. Hello, Binro and Ponjo. Hope you're doing well. And Crazy Dog. You just have to let me know if you can hear me. If I'm very low, then I'll just whack up the mic levels a bit more. This is a way that I can do. Oh wait, maybe I can do it in. I'll tell you about the Doctor Who stuff in a minute. Yeah, it could be because the mic on here needs to be brought up. Can you hear me better now? As long as I don't shout. Actually, if I just whack it up to full, because I'm not going to shout. Can you hear me a little bit better? I'm hoping you can hear me a lot better now. Now I've done this and I'm probably glitching like heck. I'm also going to move this mic crack. So, hang on, I'm going to. I was going to have it further up, but I thought if I have it further up, we can see there's a microphone in front of my face, and I hate that. I prefer it out of shot, but yeah, I didn't want to be out of shot. I didn't want it to be too low for you guys, or I'll just shout. A little better, but you could be a tad louder. Is that now though, or is that before? Is it better now? It also doesn't help that when I do radio, I have it up to my face, but when I do reactions and everything else, I have it like this. So really, I should have it. It's going to ruin it now, probably. I should have it like that because you can probably hear me better like that. The only downside is I don't know if that's going to now. Oh shoot! I might have ruined it. I'm hoping I haven't. Sounds okay now. What, as it was? Or as it is now? Please tell me it's as it is now, because basically this is buggered. That probably shouldn't say that, but it means something different in different places. But this thing here is just it's wound too loose. Yeah, I need to get a new setup. But please tell me if that's okay. I think you're very lagged behind. Anyway, the Doctor Who reactions thing. So because I'm editing everything myself, I'm now trying to get to a stage where, even though I'm putting the videos out when I'm putting them out, I'm trying to get a list of them collated, if that makes sense, which I was trying to do ages ago, and I'm now getting to that stage. So I've now got the Last of Us Last episode done. That's been ready for about a week now. So was the Doctor Who one. The Doctor Who one was done, edited before that. and that's been done for about a week and a half now. But the reason I haven't put them out is because I don't have anything else. I was watching someone else the other day who said the same thing. I went, yep, it's not just me that thinks it. I want to have enough videos there to not feel like I'm not putting content out for you guys. So even though it's slow at the moment, it will be quicker. And at the moment, even though I've just done the review edit, I'm about halfway through the Mad Max 2 edit, the main edit itself. That was hoping to be done before I started this other project, but unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to finish it. Also, why not react to other cult TV shows like Quatermass, The Avengers, for example? I would do. See, I am planning. So once Doctor Who is done, then I probably will take on something else. And I thought the Twilight Zone was the one I was going to take on after Doctor Who. So Doctor Who's kind of got its place on the channel, and I will react to other stuff. Like I've got loads of other things that have been requested to me through Patreon. One of them being a show called Heartbreak High. It's a teen drama. This is the thing. It's a teen drama, and I know a lot of you guys on here probably aren't going to be interested in me watching a teen drama. So that one I may put up, because the person is on Patreon anyway. I might just put those up on Patreon, but it means I'm going to have to edit those as well as the main videos, if that makes sense. But at least if I'm doing those, I have got videos then I could put out on the channel if I wanted to. But I've also got another one that's another teen drama that someone requested. Oh no, sorry, it's not a teen drama. No, it's Our Flags Mean Death, or Our Flag Means Death. Yeah, I always get the name wrong, but that one, it's a fantastic TV show. I've seen 5 episodes out of 10, but I've not edited the main ones. I've edited the uncuts. They're on Patreon. But I do want to react to other stuff, so I'm trying to react to an arrangement of things, different genres of films, mainly the ones that I know you guys like, and once or twice there might be something that I react to in the wrong order. Apologies if I do. For instance, the bear film, what was it called? I forgot the name of what it was. The baseball film, that one we watched. So I did that, and a lot of people said to me, "Oh, you should have watched the original," which was my fault in some ways, because it was a Patreon request, and I should have said, right, okay, I'll watch the original then I'll watch your request, which I did for Mad Max, because Mad Max 3 was requested, not Mad Max 1 or 2. So I watched all 3 of them, and that took a long time to to sort out, but eventually I've watched all 3, and I'm now, the uncut videos are now for all 3 of them on Patreon, but only one is on YouTube so far. The other 2 are being worked on. Thank you so much, Eric, for saying about the 12 Angry Men video. I'm so glad you liked it, because I was so unsure, because you know the type, it's a courtroom drama, and so nothing too much happens that you can react to. There's conversation that you can react to, and there's things they say and things they do, like with the knife and all that kind of stuff. And I had stuff to say, and I had reactions for those parts. But for the rest of it, it was very much me kind of sitting there and trying to work out what the characters are kind of doing. So I tried to include a bit of that, but I didn't want it to be boring. And so, someone said to me on a comment saying, "Oh, you should." And I did tweet it out, but then I deleted the tweet because I felt like I didn't know if it was being harsh to the person. But I didn't say who it was, but they said, it's a reaction, you should react, not... And I don't pay attention to negative comments, I just thought it was hilarious that they were coming to watch my video of me reacting, but if I was to give them the reaction they kind of wanted, it would be boring as hell. So that's why I edit as I do. And I'm glad you enjoyed the edit, so thank you so much. Also, I hope you really liked... A couple of people mentioned it. I hope you like me putting myself in the courtroom at the beginning. So I've been learning the cutout tool and like the pen tool and stuff as I've been doing, as you've noticed in multiple videos. I think you'll enjoy the beginning of the Oppenheimer review as well. I include a segment of the real Oppenheimer at the beginning. I'm just hoping it doesn't put people off waiting 20 seconds for my review, if that makes sense. But yeah, there was something else you mentioned. It's better that you moved this to today. I was at a party on Sunday and Monday. Oh, I'm so glad, because was it Sean? Was it yourself that said, someone said to me, oh, I prefer Monday over Sunday. And I thought, brilliant, I'll do it yesterday. And as in, I'd do it the next day. And I wanted to. But then my friend said to me, don't forget, we're meeting for dinner with my girlfriend. And I was, oh, shoot, okay. What do? I had plans. And I thought, no, it's all right. I'll just ask you guys, can I move it to today? Or would you prefer me to do it when I got back? And thankfully, you guys said it was fine for today. But today is the last day in like a week and a half, like, or about a week or so, that I could do it, and I didn't want to leave it any longer and say, sorry guys, pushing it off again for a week. I just wanted to get one done in August and not have to wait until later. It was yourself, Sean. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm glad we did it today. It's an odd day to do a live, probably. I don't know if many people do lives on Tuesdays. Is it Tuesday today? I don't even know what day it is today. But yeah, it is Tuesday. My brain. Oh my god. It's been... I don't know for you guys how this week has been. Days are flying past trying to get ready for this thing I've got to do. So I've been buzzing around, as it is after I've done this live. I've then got to tidy the house, do the washing up, you know, all the houseworky type stuff. And then tomorrow morning I'll sort out the car, and yeah. Not that I'm really doing much with the car, it's just I need to pick someone up and I need to sort some equipment out and put it in the car and all that kind of stuff. So it's, yeah, it's fun stuff, fun adult stuff, but not that kind of adult stuff. I was not feeling good to be doing anything. I can imagine last night when I went out, I had a couple of drinks. I didn't have many because, yeah, I didn't have many. I think it was like 1.5, 2, and I thought, I don't want to have too many and then be really bad today. And my health wasn't great in the day yesterday, but it got better by the evening. So, yeah, it's so good to see you all here. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello, I want to say Ratatosk. I might call you Red. Or I just call you Ratatosk. Or I could call you Rat. But I don't want to call you Rat. Have I missed anything? I've got to the stage now where I am keeping up with the chat. I remember the last time, and by the way, today won't be a 7-hour stream, I promise you. If some of you guys are new, was it last month or was it a couple of months ago? We did a stream and I just spoke for England, and I was having a really good time chatting with you guys, but I don't know how I lasted 7 hours just talking. I don't even think we looked at anything online. I just spoke and answered your questions and all that kind of good stuff. Eric says he hasn't seen Oppenheimer, but Nolan knows how to make a good movie. Oh, he does. I see. This is before my review goes out. If you guys get to see Oppenheimer, go and see it. It is fantastic. Although, for me personally, and this might put a couple of people off, I'm hoping it doesn't, I don't know how beneficial it was to see it in IMAX. I saw it in IMAX and it was great, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I think it's because you could see a lot more of the, like, them focusing more, because the camera looked amazing, because some of it was shot on, and I found this out when I got back and I was doing the review, because I don't know if you remember me saying I did the initial review and I woke up the next day and it failed. The entire microphone, this thing, completely failed on me. It didn't work. So I had to redo the entire review. And when I'd done that, after I'd done the initial one, I was looking up about the film and I found some of the film was filmed on a Panavision camera, which is what I thought when I saw the film. There was a couple of shots of this guy stood by a doorway. I went, sure, that's shot on the old film cameras, the Panavision ones. Like they were, it's a different Panavision, but like it was for 2021's West Side Story, which is a fantastic film. Honestly, one of the greatest films that year that came out. For me, anyway. But yeah, Nolan doesn't make a bad film. It was a great film, Oppenheimer. Traumatic and horrific in places, especially if you know what the bomb does. There's this scene in it, and I found out that the girl that I didn't include this in the review, but you get a little extra here. The girl that something happens to in a specific scene after a phone call, that's all I can say. The girl that you see forefront and centre that something happens to is Nolan's daughter. I had no idea. And it was only until I was looking into the information for it whilst I was editing. And I've watched that trailer a million times, all of the trailers a million times. Yeah, then I found out that it was Nolan's daughter. Yeah. Jeff. Hello, Jeff. You all right? Hey, Marty. Congrats on 1K. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I was going to say, I think there's been a heck of a lot more people come to the channel now, especially with like 12 Angry Men and a couple of the other videos that we did. Although I was really annoyed with Casablanca because I've been trying to get to the stage now where I'm able to start monetizing the content, and for some reason it kept copyright claiming Casablanca, and I don't know why. I know why, obviously it's got copyright content in it, but that one I did the editing slightly different. I left the shots out a little bit longer. I might have mentioned this before, but that then keeps getting copyright claimed, and every time I clear and delete that section of the video, because I can't re-upload it now, I could, but I don't think many people would see a re-upload of the same video. So yeah, I'm having to cut chunks out, or now I've just given up on it and I'm just letting it have it, so I don't have any ownership over that video. They have the ownership over everything on the video. But a lot of people came in from that, and I'm glad you guys have liked it. First and foremost, I do the videos because I know you guys love films and love older films, and I love older films, as you know, and so I just do it for the fun of it. But because I do it all myself, it's nice to kind of get a little bit back from it for doing it, if that makes sense. And obviously that's why Patreon's there as well, because you guys help support me and the channel, and I massively appreciate it, so thank you so much. Also, I'll mention something else in a second about something else. Been enjoying your classic reactions, your Mad Max and Home Alone videos as well. Yeah, I've had a really weird influx of people, and don't get me wrong, I love that you guys are watching them. I've had a really weird influx this past week or two of people watching Home Alone, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's got recommended to people more, which it probably has, because I think it was even recommended to me on my other channel. Because I have another one that I have linked up to my TV that I don't have. It's not this channel, it's another one. So I can save favourites and stuff, and so that I don't accidentally add favourites to, instead of putting it to watch later, I don't accidentally put it onto the channel's playlists, which I've done before, because that was how I originally had it set up. And I started getting random people's videos on my playlist, and I went, what happened there? And I checked on the TV, and yeah, I keep adding them to the wrong playlist. So I switched, and yeah, I do that. So that was where it was recommended to me, which was quite funny. My own videos are recommended, but you still need to see the Oppenheimer movie. Yeah, it's very good, but I thought there was going to be more, and maybe it's because there was almost jump scares of sound effects and visuals, because there are at times, but I kept thinking that I was going to see more of the bomb going off, if that makes sense. Because obviously Nolan didn't do it he didn't do CGI, he did it for real, but he didn't actually set off a nuke. He, did his own special miniature way of making it, and it's really good. But I didn't see as many shots as I thought I would have, and even the flashback type shots of the atoms spinning and all that kind of stuff, you don't see that a lot. You see it sort of earlier in the film, but I'm not going to give any spoilers anyway. It's a brilliant film. You should check it out if you want to. I haven't seen Barbie though, so I was going to do the whole Barbenheimer thing and go and see both in one day, because I think it's going to be a bit of fun and just a little fun film to go and see. But yeah, plans fell through, because what my friend and I were meant to do the day that we had last night when we had dinner, we were meant to go to see either Barbie or Mission Impossible and then go for dinner. And then his girlfriend joined in, and she came late on the train, so we had to skip the film and not see it, and yeah, so never mind. But I will see it at some point. We're meant to be seeing, I think, Mission Impossible when after this next project's finished. Just passing through, can't stay. Hello, Randy. I hope you're doing really well. By the way, I know a lot of you guys have been commenting lately on videos. Thank you, I really appreciate it. I've read quite a few of them, but I don't interact. You may have noticed I don't interact with the comments until I get a chance to reply, because I do want to reply to all of your comments if I can, or at least 90% of comments. So I won't like it or heart it, but please know that I usually see them because they pop up on my phone as a notification. So yeah, I see the comments. I just don't interact, because then when I go onto my I think I've said this before, when I go onto the comments section, if I do it as I've hearted and liked or whatever, it says I've interacted, and then it disappears from the notification panel thing, and then it makes it a lot harder to see any of them, because you've then got to filter more and more. So it just makes it a lot easier. But thank you, Binro. There was a name I think we came up with a different name for you instead of Binro, because I felt bad calling you Binro. But if there was a name, please let me know. It's been a while since we did one of these, and I've completely forgotten. I'm sorry. Oh, Randy's going downtown. Speaking of downtown, actually, it reminds me of a film that I just watched, which was another request from Patreon, and it's What's Up, Doc? It's so good, and that will be coming to the channel at some point. I've yet to do the uncut for that one, for Arsenic and Old Lace, which I've also seen. I've also seen another film. I could tell you what they were, but I haven't got my hard drive plugged in, because it seems to play up when I have the camera and the light attached, so which is a bit of a pain. But yeah, that's coming, so I can't say any more other than that. Colossus the Forbin project. Ooh. As in, you say I should see that. I have that on my request list, I think. Yes, I do. I have that on my request list. So that is coming at some point in the future. It won't be anytime soon, because it's not I'm doing Patreon requests over anything else, but I am then adding my own suggestions, like either my own films or suggestions that you guys here on YouTube have been giving me, in amongst them. So hence Arsenic and Old Lace is coming up soon. That is meant to be after Mad Max 2. That's the next film that I'll be putting out on the channel. But once the next project's done, as in my external project, once that's done, so next week, I'll then get a chance to finish Mad Max 2 and start the work on Arsenic and Old Lace and more Doctor Who, which I really want to try and get. I've seen the entire storyline of The Keys of Marinus already, and I'm yet to see the next storyline. I've forgotten the name of the next one, but that is the next thing to watch with Doctor Who on my list, so I will. Next, you're coming to You're coming to to England, friends, is what I was going to say. You're coming to England to visit some friends there. Awesome. I hope you really enjoy England. It's really nice. Whereabouts in England are you going to go, Sean? Because I recommend a couple of places, depending on where you're going to be. Cornwall, obviously, and because I love Cornwall, in case you didn't know, and also the Cotswolds. Two really nice places. I've not been to Scotland. I've been to Ireland, and I would say Dublin, but because that's where my family are from. I'm not Irish. I'm half Irish, but yeah. Hope you have a really nice time. That's it. The next story is the Aztecs. Thank you, Binro. Yes, yeah, the Aztecs is the next one to watch. There is one, and I think it's the Aztecs, that reminds me a lot of the Marco Polo story. The way it looks. I might be wrong. I've got an itchy nose. I had the same thing last time we were on live. It's a good job I'm not sneezing, because I have been sneezing like hell lately. I don't know why. I think I've got... I do think I've got hay fever or allergies or something, because I don't do it when I'm recording. But any time that I'm not recording, I keep sneezing constantly. Hang on. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think it's starting. It's going. I want to sneeze, but I'm trying not to. Anyway, continue with the chat. Sorry. Congrats on 1K. Thank you, Binro. I think you mentioned that. I think I said it. Sorry. Also, speaking of Doctor Who, before I move on with the chat, have you guys heard of the... Wasn't there another episode? Another missing episode that was found? Or am I wrong in that? I think there was. I think there's a guy somewhere that has... I know there was a guy that had a massive collection of stuff, and Doctor Who was in there, but he didn't want to sell it off. But then didn't the guy pass away, I want to say? But then there's another guy that has some more missing episodes or something. That's what I heard the other day. I follow a lot of Doctor Who YouTube channels, but I got to a stage where I thought, oh god, I hope people aren't going to think I'm a Doctor Who YouTube channel, because I love Doctor Who. It's one of my greatest things I love. But I'm not massively knowledgeable about it, so I didn't want to come across as like, oh, I know everything about Doctor Who. So even when I'm doing the reactions, and I say, look, I don't know much. I don't know a lot about the world of Doctor Who, but I am a Whovian. I do love Doctor Who. So one friend, oh there you go, Sean, sorry. One friend lives in Nuneaton, Warwickshire. One lives in Wales. Hey, I used to live, I think I mentioned this before, I used to live in South Wales, in Swansea. Very nice place, sort of, depending on like the people there. They're fairly nice. They're well, the people I knew they were very nice, but the place though is gorgeous, depending on the areas you go to. So, and Cardiff is a very nice place. I've been there, and it's funny because when I went there, I completely forgot about Doctor Who being filmed in Cardiff the majority of the time, or in Wales in general. And I went there, and I kept expecting to see the building with the writing on the side. I do know what it's called. It's something to do with light something, but I kept thinking I was going to see that building because it was Cardiff city centre, but I never saw it, and I was so disappointed. I didn't get to see it because I was doing photography while I was there and didn't get to see it. One lives in Wales, I can't remember the town, and one lives in southeast England. Oh, I'm in southeast England somewhere roughly. Southeast England. I'm not going to dox myself by saying exactly where I am. So, I live in this place. Although I have a feeling I may have said rough at some point. A rough place. But yeah, I live in Southeast England. Nice place. I live in a nice little village. In a cottage. This place. It's nice. But unfortunately I don't live in Cornwall or Cotswolds like I would love to. But it does feel like I'm in the Cotswolds or Cornwall because it's so quiet. It's funny. There was The Time Travellers. That was the other film that I've done the uncut for recently, and the Time Travellers video. I don't know if you can hear it right at the end of it. If you're on Patreon and you hear that, I don't think I've included music over me talking, which I do in the main edit. If you listen really carefully, you can hear birds tweeting, like twittering, not writing tweets. But you can hear birds twittering in the background. It's because when I finished that recording, it was about 5 a.m. But it's because I've got trees and like a bird's nest just outside my door kind of thing. And yeah, that's what I hear most days. It's so quiet, but it's lovely. So I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, sure. Kind of all over the place, your friends. But it's great though that you're coming here and you're going to be traveling around all over. Just get some really nice travel out of England. There's some really nice places. Some really old vintage type places as well, which is the bit I love. You'll get when you get to season 17. Is that about Doctor Who? Binro, you say about you'll get when you get to season 17. Is that if that's about Doctor Who? Because I don't know if I said it in the edit. Sorry, when I was filming it, but I think I cut it out of the. I do it a lot, and I'll say stuff and then I'll just cut it out. But I thought that I was near the end of William Hartnell's run, and I thought, it's going to be interesting seeing the new, another Doctor coming in and another TARDIS team, and then I looked it up, and I didn't know that he's in it for 4 seasons, and I'm not even through season 1 yet. So we've got a lot of William Hartnell to go. But yeah, that's why I'm trying to get through them as quick as possible. So I'm watching I was going to release them as a story done, but that will take a while to edit together because that's a fairly long time. That would be a sort of film's length kind of thing. And my average viewers for a Doctor Who video is about 20 minutes. Not even that. Sometimes it's 12 to 15 minutes. So if I release a double episode, most people don't tend to see the second episode, which was one of the reasons I decided originally to do separate videos, because people don't tend to wait to watch the second one. But the last one I really enjoyed. I even watched watched that video back. I really enjoyed that one. But yeah, I could do them all as one. I was thinking once I've done a storyline, I might put them out as just the reactions, do a quick intro and a quick outro separate, like now kind of thing, and then release them all just reaction, and that's it, and then do an outro kind of thing. So it's like you can recap all of the episodes if you want to, if you don't want to watch the other versions of it, because I think if you know the episode, you don't want to hear me waffle about the episode afterwards before you see the next one. So let me know if you do want that. I thought about doing that with Last of Us as well, but I have so many things to say because I did all of the episodes as they came out, but I've only just got a chance to finish editing the last one now. And my God, I was almost spot on when I was editing that last one, episode 8. I was almost spot on with some of the stuff that I said about the finale that I didn't know at the time, obviously, but looking at it whilst I was editing, I went, yep, got that right, yep, got that right. And I don't want to be big-headed, but it was right. So so I would say before you watch the new one that I've seen, check out what I'd said on the end of episode 8 about the finale. And yeah, I was dismayed by some of the stuff they decided to do, and I say it in the reaction, but like the fact that they've only got one clicker in there, that's within a few episodes. So yeah. Let me know if you want me to talk about The Last of Us. If you guys aren't interested, otherwise. It's a good movie. Streisand and O'Neill, very funny. It's hilarious. When I watched it, and I didn't think it was going to be a screwball comedy. I thought it was like a romantic story. I thought it was going to be a comedy because it said comedy online, but I thought it was more of a romantic comedy, just like a light-hearted comedy. I didn't know it was going to be full-on hilarious, over the top, and I forgot how good I was going to say Streisand. I forgot how good Streisand is, and I say it in the reaction. I'm not going to lie. I've got a bit of a crush on Streisand now because she's very lovely in that film and hilarious as well. So yeah, it's a very enjoyable film, and if I clap, that is very loud for you guys. So I'll try not to. The next story is the Aztecs. Thank you. I think they're both written by John Lucarotti. What are the episodes of Doctor Who? Maybe, yeah, because I know. Who was the other guy? I mentioned it in the reaction. The guy that made the Daleks. He either wrote or directed the last set of episodes, and then we're going to go from there to the next one, being hopefully John Lucarotti then, if I've got the name right. So it makes sense that Marco and Aztecs seem similar. Oh, okay, right. So I didn't finish reading the comic because I'm a numpty. Yeah, he co-wrote. He did both. He wrote Aztecs and Marco Polo. That's interesting because it felt like they kind of reused the sets, which I suppose they could have because they really did film both. But we've lost some set of storylines. There's always rumours going around about missing episodes that occasionally surface in the media. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it had been a rumour, so I watch a couple of YouTubers that do. Weirdly, I don't watch. I follow some YouTubers that do reactions, but not any that do reactions to Doctor Who. But my Doctor Who YouTubers that I watch, or Who-tubers, I suppose. The Who-tubers that I watch are Tharies. I enjoy watching his videos just because he talks about Doctor Who, and he seems like a really nice guy. And Mr. TARDIS, I want to say. There is another one as well, and I've completely forgotten his name, so apologies. But yeah, there's some really good ones out there. And just so I can get a bit of info about Doctor Who and update you guys when I'm doing Doctor Who videos, if there's something that I've heard. So, or when I do one of these, for instance. Best to not get into the missing episodes rabbit hole. Well, that's what I've been doing. If you looked at the videos that I've previously been doing, not the last one of Doctor Who, but the ones before that, for about 4 episodes, four videos, I think it was. They were all the missing episodes, which were reconstructed they were just still images. And it was, as much as I was enjoying the episodes, they were doing my head in at the time, because I had to, even though I was reacting to it and listening, and anytime anything happened, like a shriek, which you see in the reaction, it frightened the heck out of me, because I kept not knowing what was coming next, which is great, I suppose, but I kept having to imagine all of the action going on. And then when it got to that newer episode, I went, oh, right, it's moving Doctor Who. It was so much easier on the eye, and getting to enjoy it a bit more, if that makes sense. But I don't know when the next set of missing episodes are. Whenever they are, someone might have to point it out to me, but I'm trying to keep up with the episode listing order. Yeah, the madness lies in those missing episodes. It really does. It was funny because it was like doing a slideshow for those episodes, because I was practically re-editing just pictures into a video. It was interesting, to say the least, and trying to make it look interesting on camera, and not just me staring at some pictures and watching and reacting to some pictures. Lots of rumours and discussion on them at the minute. Yeah, there seems to be quite a few people have mentioned it. Along with, there was some other news about. Oh, there's news about, is Doctor Who going to have some other. Who was it? Oh, Capaldi. That was it. Capaldi and Eccleston. Someone said, are they going to be in it? I don't think Eccleston's going to come back. And Capaldi, I really hope so, because him and Tennant, for me, are my 2 favourites. So I would say one's above the other, but they're kind of the same now for me. So do you think they will bring back Captain Jack Harkness in Doctor Who? I don't know. I want them to, personally, because I loved his character in the original. Well, I say in the originals, in the first set of David Tennant episodes when Harkness was in them. I loved his character, and the moment, and I was rewatching the moment the other day. But the moment they say, I'm really hoping this doesn't spoil anything for anybody. I mean, Doctor Who's been out for years, so hopefully not. When Captain Jack says the face of Bo, if I say that, there we go. So if you know it, you know it. If you don't know it, then you'll go, why is he saying the face of Bo? When he does the face of Bo moment, I was so shocked. I was a lot younger at the time, but I went, what? And I really wish, like, if I watch them again now, because the clips that I've seen, I don't remember half of what happened in the older episodes. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch all of Classic Who, and then I might rewatch the modern Who episodes. What do you guys think? Do you want me to? Do you not want me to? But if that's going to be some time, that'll be probably a year down the line. I don't know when that'll be, but and I know a lot of the scripts from the David Tennant era, the original David Tennant era. Like, the day they arrived on the planet and blinking step into the sun. Small to see. Now, hold on, that's the Lion King. I know all of the. I did that for a final major project. That's probably why I remember it so much. But yeah, they were very good episodes. But yeah, I think he should come back. The thing for me thinking, I don't know if he will though, is because wasn't there a controversy with him for him revealing himself on set and stuff? I don't know how true that was, and I don't know if the BBC will, especially with what's been happening lately with people. I don't know if they'll bring him back on because of that, because he was in the 13th Doctor episodes, wasn't he? For, what was it? a moment, pretty much. He was in there, I think, at the end of one episode or the beginning of one episode, and then briefly again. I think it was to save her, and then he just went again. So I want him to come back, and I think I mentioned in the previous episode I mentioned about the vortex manipulator, because I realised that they were very similar to the vortex manipulators, and I didn't know they'd done similar before. But when I said it, I went, "Oh yeah, that reminds me of the thing," and I didn't know that they were going to be. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that, but I didn't know that they were similar to vortex manipulators until when it happened. I went, "Oh yeah." I'm trying my best, because when I record, I waffle a bit much sometimes. So I've been trying to pull myself back a bit, and I think that's why we went for 7 hours streams last time, because I waffle too much. But it's good. I'm sure it's entertaining for you guys to watch. Sort of. Hope you're enjoying your cup of tea. If you've not got a tea, get a cup of tea. I've got a coffee at the moment, but you'll get the username for for Binro. Sorry. Yeah, is it Binro the Heretic? I think it is, but I don't know what that means. Don't know what that means. I don't want to go. Just had to stop by and say hello. Hello, Scott. If you're still here, then hello. I don't know if you're still here or not. But thank you for stopping by. Hope you're really well. I wasn't sure of this time because 6 o'clock now seems to be the time that would be better for people. And I felt weird about going live at 5. But a couple of people that I've seen seem to say that 5 o'clock is a good time for some people in one side of America. But I don't know if that's a true thing, or if it's that 5 o'clock your time is better, so about 11 or something my time. But I don't know. I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying it being this time. It's probably the morning where you are. I don't know what time it is. Please let me know where it is. Yeah, what time it is. It's currently 6:05 here, so PM. Wonder why they call him Doctor Who. Yeah, yeah, I wonder as well. There's been many an instance where they try and figure out the name, and there was a reason, wasn't it? Didn't they make a reason in universe as to the reason why he was called Doctor Who? I think. I know they've revealed his name way back in was it Patrick Troughton or something era? No, not Patrick Troughton. There was an era where they came up with a really weird name, because I watched that clip. It was like the name of the Doctor, and wasn't the name of the Doctor though. Different episode, way back when. It's 10 a.m. in California. Bloomin' heck. Morning, guys. I should have said morning instead of evening. Yeah, good morning. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Hope you can have a lovely Tuesday. Tuesday? Wednesday? No. Oh, I don't know what day it is. I know it's Tuesday today, but is it Tuesday for you guys? Are you about to have your entire day? And I've already done my entire day. Flippin' heck. I don't get a lot of the... I know I'm a sausage. I don't... Yeah, I'm no good with time zones. That's why when I put stuff out, I just say UK time on the end. I don't say GMT or BST, and because I always forget which one's which, and then if I say the wrong one, especially some guys in America will be like, what time's that? So if I say UK time, then you can just look up UK to California or California, whatever. Every time I say California, I always think of Arnold Schwarzenegger saying it. So don't assume that doctors always regenerate at the end of the season. Yeah, I know. I did think that when I first started Doctor Who, and I understand now that they don't. And even when I said what I said, in my head, I was thinking that William Hartnell had only been there for one season. That was it, like for one series. I didn't realise that he'd been there for multiple. Because I know sometimes they do regenerate at the mid-series, but the majority of the time, especially with Modern Who, they just regenerate and then the new series starts. that's kind of what made me think it in my head. So apologies. Season arcs are more of a modern era thing. Yeah, it feels like. Although I've noticed in the older seasons they do have the stories, so they technically have like miniature arcs, and I don't know if they are going to have like a season arc at some point, but it'd be interesting to see a season arc. I suppose there probably is with, what's the one I'm thinking of? Was it the Dalek storyline? No, there was an episode I was thinking of where it continues something across from another one. I might be thinking of Modern Who though. I don't know. I'm also realising I'm leaning closer and closer to the microphone, getting louder and louder. Terry Nation, that was it. Yeah, Terry Nation was the one. Be careful not to spoil yourself looking up things, JS. I look up far too many things about the things that I watch, but I tend to do it after, and that's what gets me. That's what absolutely hits me, because when I put the video out, and I'll have looked up the information during the editing stage for the pure fact is then I can add additional info on the screen if I've got something wrong, or sometimes if I've got something wrong as well, as in if I've said the wrong thing but I meant something else in my head, I'll just splice that bit out, because I don't cut out my reaction to it, but I cut out like that specific wording or sentence if it means something else and I didn't realise what it meant. So yeah, but I tend to keep in the majority of it. So if going back to the videos really quickly, if I had more time, if I wasn't doing any other work outside, I would constantly be editing for the channel and just pumping videos out for you guys, because that's the reason I took on the TV shows originally, was so that I could then concentrate on having a little bit more time to do the video edit for the films. But it's not like one person's editing the TV shows and then I'm editing the film. I'm doing all of those at the same time. So I'm trying to finish one before I do another one, because I sometimes would forget. I've been doing that though. I've been doing two at once, because I've just done the review and obviously the Mad Max 2 one. I've been editing as well, so it's yeah. I doubt they will bring back Capaldi. Yeah, I know. I wish they did though. Like, I know he said he didn't want anything more to do. Well, he didn't specifically say that, but he seems to have just pushed away. And I don't think he's even been at fan events or Comic Cons and stuff. VidCon, Comic Con. Which is the Doctor Who one? Comic Con, I think. Anyway, he's not been there, I don't think. Whereas I think the others have, or as many as they can anyway, apart from Eccleston. You're 6 hours ahead of me in my part of Canada. Yes, so you are 10 a.m. as in Tuesday 10 a.m. Blimey. Oh. I don't know why that baffles me so much, but it does. Yeah, Tuesday. Thanks, Scott. It's in the Tom Baker era that he's called Theta Sigma. That's it, yeah, Theta Sigma. Thank you. Yeah, I know that at one point Who was called that, but then they quickly pushed it away and went, no, he's just Doctor Who. We don't know his name. And then it's something's whispered in the Matt Smith or / Tennant era, but we never know what it is. And then he gets the name John Smith in various episodes, but one of my favourite ones where he's called John Smith is the episode with the fob watch. Somewhere I've got a fob watch, pocket watch. It's the same thing, isn't it? I've got one of those somewhere with the TARDIS symbol type things on it, the Gallifreyan symbols. That's it. I was going to put it up there, but I've lost it and I don't know where it's gone. Once I find it, I'll put it back up there. But yeah, that's my favourite episode, where he's a teacher. He's just called John Smith, and you got the aliens in it, and you got the guy who does the neck thing to the side. Creepy as hell when I was a kid. I say when I was a kid. I wasn't a kid when I watched it. I was definitely older than that. I was late teens, early 20s. I was in my 20s. I don't know. Years passed by. That was more of a nickname from his school days. Oh, I thought that was like a proper name for him. Eccleston has now done many Doctor Who audio dramas. Yes, I know of that because he had a falling out originally when he left with Russell T Davies, which is hilarious because now T Davies is back, or RTD is now back. And also the other lady, was it Karen something? He fell out with two people anyway. Then he left, didn't do anything for ages, and then he's now come back with Big Finish. But I haven't heard any Big Finishes. And I know we spoke about this on the last stream, and I said, I might listen to some at some point. Oh, I don't get time to listen to them. If I could get... I probably will in the background at some point, if they're free. Because they are expensive. I mean, when I went to see Oppenheimer the other day, guess how much it was, seeing it in IMAX? I thought it was going to be... What's the ticket normally? 12 quid at the most. 7 quid, maybe. I thought it was going to be maximum a tenner to see it. Not even that. But in total, because I got a small popcorn and a drink, and I went to see the film in IMAX, it was £30. How? Seeing one film with a small popcorn and a drink, £30. I felt ripped off. But when I saw it, I was also going, I don't know if I needed to see it in IMAX. It's very good. Trust me, it's very, very good. But it kind of felt, maybe it's just the IMAX screening I went to, and I had to sit off to the side because there were so many people in the theatre, even though I got a middle seat. I didn't want to push past people and catch the flu from this guy that was coughing a couple of seats away, which is where I was meant to have sat. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I don't know about IMAX. Anyway, I've already spoke about Oppenheimer. So he's been involved in many Doctor Who audio dramas since the 50th anniversary, so his involvement in the 60th is less unlikely. I do think that he won't be in it though. He might surprise us all, because Tennant did say that there would be quite a few people, like, was it quite a few faces or something, that he's been working with behind the scenes, but people don't know the half of what's happened. Something like that, he said. Yeah, I still doubt it as well. Have they decided on Doctor Who? Oh, sorry, on who? I've got the heart symbol in the way, so I can't read what you've actually said. What does that say? Who we? I'm trying to read it at the same time. Hang on. Can I pop out the chat? I can pop out the chat. There we go. Da, 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 da. There we go. Have they decided on who will be the new Doctor Who? Yeah, it's yeah, as Binro said, Sean, it's Ncuti Gatwa. Ncuti Gatwa is the new Doctor Who. I think I've told you guys already about my story of when Ncuti Gatwa was announced as the 15th originally. I was in Devon. Yeah. It's where, you know, where the final Jodie Whittaker episode, where the TARDIS is on the cliff edge, and it backs away. My brain has gone blank on the place name, but I was there when it was announced. I've got pictures and video that I keep meaning to mention in the video and then actually show you them. But yeah, I've got the video, and if I grab my phone, I could actually show you actually. But I was there, and it got announced about Doctor Who, and I didn't know, obviously. I didn't know that they were going to go back there, or they had been there. Sorry, should I say, a couple of months before, and film for Doctor Who. But yeah, I was there, and it was good. But I was surprised at the news, because I didn't know they were going to go back to being a male Doctor. I thought it was still going to stay as a female Doctor for a bit. But yeah, when he got announced, I loved the news. I didn't know who he was though, as I hadn't seen anything that he'd been in. I hadn't seen Sex Education. I still haven't. I probably will be staying away from teen drama type shows, and I know I've got that high school one that's been requested, but I have a feeling that you guys especially probably I'm not the target audience. I'm not the target audience for it, so I won't appreciate it as much as I'll still appreciate it, especially for the filmmaking techniques and the acting, and probably enjoy the storylines. But I won't appreciate it as much for the social situations for the kids and that kind of thing, and their dramas that are going on. But I still haven't requested, so I've still got to watch that. But yeah. Longfoot, hello Longfoot, you're right. I don't know anything about Doctor Who. I mean, just start watching it if you want to watch it. But yeah, not many people don't know about Doctor Who. My dad has no idea about Doctor Who, to be fair, and he gets annoyed whenever I mention anything about it. This channel has become especially talking to you guys, has been sort of my hub of all things media stuff, because most people that I talk to, other than my friend Charlie, most people I talk to don't really like film that much, which is annoying. So I don't get the chance to talk to them about film or TV shows and that kind of thing. Yeah, Red, you said or 14, depending on how you count it. Yeah, I mean, if you count Shooty as 14, then no, they haven't mentioned who's going to be 15. But yeah, with Shooty as 15, Millie Gibson is then going to be the new companion, and they've also got some other random people as potential companions as well. And they look interesting, but some of them I'm a bit like, have they? I don't know. I feel like they're just adding people for the sake of adding people, because Jodie Whittaker's Doctor had 3 companions. They're now just trying to fill spaces. If they just focus on the Doctor and a companion like they did with Rose and the Doctor, I feel like that's going to be a bit better for storytelling. But I don't know, that's just me. John Smith is the pseudonym he used at times on Earth. Yes, that's it. And then goes way back, not just Human Nature and Family Blood. Oh, I didn't know it was used before that. Does I've forgotten the guy's name. William Hartnell. Does William Hartnell's Doctor use John Smith at some point? I feel like he did, or he has already. Maybe I'm probably thinking of another scene that I've seen somewhere along the lines. Eccleston does now do conventions too. Does he? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know he did them. I really will have to go to another one, because I went to one a couple of years ago, or many years ago now, should I say, that was near here, and I saw and met Nicholas Briggs, who does the voice of the Daleks. Really interesting guy, and I said to him, I'm an avid fan of Doctor Who. I think this was around the same time as Matt Smith's era. It might have been Capaldi's era, to be fair. I want to say it was David Tennant's era, but it wasn't. It was definitely either Smith's or Capaldi's. But yeah, I feel like this chat's got 2 Doctor Who, so apologies. If you're not a Doctor Who fan, like Longfoot isn't a Doctor Who fan, then yeah, I'm sorry. But let's get into talk about other films if you want. What have you seen lately? Anything good? Anything that you want to chat about, or anything you want to request to me that you think would be really interesting? I've got loads coming that I've been watching, and I tried the other day. I've also got Time Rider. I don't know if you guys know Time Rider, but it's been requested as well, and I will be bringing that to the channel at some point, but I haven't even watched it myself yet, so I really hope I can soon, once I've got this other stuff sorted. And I am just going to sack off a load of other work if I can, once that's all sorted. I've already been trying to do that, but it's doesn't always work out that way. Where did I get to? I would go to all the conventions if I was ever a Doctor Who fan. Or if you were ever a Doctor Who, as in the Doctor himself. Yes, I know. If I was the Doctor, and I have for many years wished I could have been a Doctor, that would have been so cool. I'd be very much like Tennant, I think. Mixture of Tennant and Capaldi. Because it turns out when Capaldi came out, I was in the stage of, I had these glasses, as in sunglasses. So I have the jacket I wear, my coat that I wear for Doctor Who videos. That coat I've had for years, but as in I've had the same one but a different one, if that makes sense. I had that before Capaldi, so I had it roughly around the Smith time. And then when Capaldi became Doctor, I was wearing these sunglasses, which are the same as what Capaldi has. And it was only until I was watching an episode one day, and I just got back in, and I looked at myself and I went, I could just do it. I've got the grey hair, I've got the glasses, I could just do a what's it called? A cosplay of the Doctor, of the 10th Doctor? 11th Doctor? I can never. 12th Doctor, he's 12th. Matt Smith is the 11th, yeah. I'm not going to, but maybe one day. I'll wear that type of stuff when we get around to doing Capaldi's episodes again, potentially. I probably won't do outfits for them all, because there's a lot of different ones and I don't have half of them. I mean, the celery is easy to do, but yeah. Your choice of the worst companion. Oh. I mean, my worst companion, I've got to say, is going to rub people up the wrong way, because my worst companion is probably, and this is of what I've seen so far, so Modern Who, basically. I'm not going to include, I've forgotten her name. From Classic Who. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm not going to include her. This is all from Modern Who, and my one is a very hard one to say to you guys, because I know there's a lot of people that love her, and it's a female, because I know there's been a couple of male psychics and companions as well. I mean, to be fair though, one of the male ones I think kind of felt like it was a wasted opportunity was Graham. He didn't. I feel like he didn't get much. Ryan didn't get much either. To be fair, you had the cancer storyline for Graham, and then the Doctor just brushed it off, which I didn't understand. But who do you think my companion is? I loved Rose. Rose was my favourite. Oh no, actually no, I can't say that. No, I have a huge crush, and when we get to the episodes, you'll understand it. I have a huge crush on Jenna Coleman. Clara Oswald for me is my favourite, but that's because I like her. But other than that, it would be Billie Piper as Rose. I really, really enjoy her episodes as well. I think it might be because I enjoy the episodes as well in general. And then I also really enjoy Capaldi and Clara Oswald. Not so much Smith and Oswald, to be fair, but because I think didn't they have a season together? I think. I'm just waiting to see if people throws hands up. Fist fights in the chat about my my worst one. I've not said it yet. Who do you think the worst one is? Have a guess in the chat. Probably just name your favourite, and it'll probably be my worst one. It's because I can't say what I think, because if I say it, you'll know exactly who I mean. She's just very abrasive, and I enjoy. No, Yaz. I really liked Yaz. Although I feel like they did her character bad. She was a bit annoying, but not annoying in the fact that I don't like her. It was just the way they wrote her character. Because I know the Doctor as well. I despise the way they wrote for Jodie Whittaker, because I love Jodie Whittaker as a Doctor. She is fantastic, and she could be a lot better. because I've seen her acting in a ton of other stuff. One of them being, it wasn't Broadchurch. I've seen Broadchurch and I love that, but there's another one she was in as well. She plays the mother to a boy. Something happens to the child, I think, and it's a story focused on her, but it's not Broadchurch. This other thing anyway. Really good actress, but they really wrote for her very weirdly in Doctor Who. They made her this kind of children's TV presenter. Hello, lovely. And I know she's very upbeat. That was a terrible impression, I know. She's very upbeat, and I love that about the Doctor. Very upbeat and just in your face for some of the stuff. But the way they wrote her wasn't anything like the previous Doctors. And I understand they are meant to be different. Each one is meant to be different, but there's always something there that... She was very much a Matt Smith, I suppose. Matt Smith was completely different, and it was very playful and in your face, like Jodie Whittaker's. But I think Jodie Whittaker's one, they almost made her dumb, if that makes sense. They kind of dulled her down, but kept her silly, which almost kind of just made us feel a bit ditzy, but in a bad way. Because other than that, I love her serious moments. I really love it when they write well for her. But yeah, I just wish she'd had a speech, a proper speech, like Tennant, like Capaldi. I suppose Smith had a great speech at the Stonehenge, didn't he, as well? See, Amy Pond isn't my least favourite. I think she's a very good companion. She did annoy me at one point, and I think it was as time kind of progressed on, or was it at the beginning? Some point in her run, and for the life of me, I'm sorry, I don't remember if it was the beginning or the end. She either got too grating as it went on, or she was grating at first, and then I started to like it. I think it was the other way. Yeah, I think it was that she grated on me at first, and then I enjoyed it as it kind of went on, because I really enjoyed her and Rory's storyline. I was watching an interview with him actually the other day. It was really good. It was I can't remember the guy's name. It's a comedian. It was his podcast, and he was on it. And he spoke about the reason he left Doctor Who and all that stuff. But have a watch. If I ever tell you the name of who it was. But I'm not going to, because I've forgotten his name. But it was the Welsh comedian. That's all I can remember. But yeah. I feel like I'm leaving you all in suspense about my worst one. Please don't hate me for this. But my worst companion, because I know you've asked, is Donna. I don't know why. She just really grates with me. I enjoy her episodes, and I think she's funny. This is the thing. I think she's funny, but I think what it is that I saw her in the Catherine Tate show. I liked her in the Catherine Tate show, but then when I'm waiting for someone to go, what? in the chat. I liked her in the Catherine Tate show, and I liked her in various of her episodes, like the one where she was going to get married, and that's one with the spider lady in it. I don't remember many names, but yeah, I liked that episode. I liked Turn Left, really good episode. So I enjoy her character some of the time. I'd say most of the time, but you know when she gets that cocky kind of Catherine Tate-isms in there, that's when she grates on me. Because as much as I like Catherine Tate as a comedian, I don't feel like it works properly in Doctor Who. I feel she comes off a bit too... I don't know the words. They really do need to bring back River Song, you're right. I loved River Song, she was brilliant. Her storyline as well was fantastic. And I have heard somewhere... I'll put that in the back of my head, and I'll say about... Because I'm doing the same thing I always do. I'll skip off on a tangent and then come back. But yeah, Catherine Tate's one. I think it's because she gets a bit too big for her boots at times, if that makes sense. But not her, it's the character does, and it's the cocky way she says stuff sometimes. I don't know, because I know a couple of other companions do the same thing, but I think it's just the way that Catherine Tate goes about it. But that's not to say that I don't like her, because I do like her. She's just my least favourite companion out of them all. And many people over the last couple of months have been saying, when it's been polls for their favourite companions, most people say that Catherine Tate is one of their favourites, and I'm going, oh, oh really? Oh, shoot, because it's not mine. We do know who 14 is. It's not Shooty. We do know who is 14. It's not Shooty. But if you don't know, I won't spoil. You haven't seen Power of the Doctor then. Wait, Bimro, is that to me or was that to Sean? I feel like that was probably to someone else. Maybe the Red? Yeah, oh yeah, it might be in the Red, because you said, depending on how you want to count it, maybe, I don't know. But, yeah. I won't spoil it in case you don't know, but I feel like everybody knows now who the next Doctor is, as in the Doctor, the current Doctor, should I say. Because the current Doctor, technically, I suppose, is Jodie Whittaker. But it's not Jodie Whittaker now, because she's left. So, I'm just continuing the chat. Sorry, guys, one sec. I know many people don't do this. They don't go back through the chat and read everything. They'll just read what they see. But I like to see what you guys say. I don't like missing anything. There's been many a time when I talk in a reaction, I kill myself for. I probably shouldn't say that on YouTube, but I kick myself, should I say? Sorry, YouTube. I kick myself for. I don't want to get the stream banned. But yeah, I kick myself for saying something over the top of something in a video, and it's difficult because when you react, you want to commentate on it and say what you're thinking, because I can't just leave everything till the end. I can with some things, so I won't purposely say some stuff and I'll just leave it, but sometimes I'll say something about a specific thing on screen and I then missed it, and I won't notice that I've missed something until the edit. And I know some people say in the comments, oh, it was said in the film, you missed it, or you weren't paying attention, or so, you know, it was in the film. And that's why sometimes I do miss things, because I am trying to commentate, or, you know, trying to give a reaction to it and say my thoughts. Although it's annoying now because I do that when I'm watching TV in general. I almost did it in Oppenheimer the other day. Glad I didn't. I did react to quite a few things though when other people didn't at all. Like I was really shocked at one point, and I said, "Oh my god," really loud, and I laughed another bit of it, I think. Yeah, when no one else did. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm different in that way. I'm just different. I'm just looking to see if we figured out who it was that didn't know who 14 was. So if you've said it in the chat, I'm going through it, so apologies. In-universe Shooty is really the 16th incarnation of the Doctor out of universe. Oh, that. Speaking of that, my least favourite Doctor is probably the way they've written her, or the way that she's acted. And you're probably going to think I'm going to say Jodie Whittaker. It's not. It's a Doctor that isn't a Doctor. I think it's because they kind of just tried to make her a Doctor without officially making her a Doctor. It's Jo Martin's Doctor. I don't... Like, people are going, oh, I'd love to see it. Oh, I'd like to see it. But people are going, oh, I'd love to see a Doctor. This makes it sound really bad. I just realised that I've said both female Doctors are my least favourites. Jodie isn't my least favourite, but I just didn't like the way she was written. But I liked her as the Doctor. I think she was really good. But Jo Martin's Doctor is my least favourite because we haven't seen any of her, I know. But I think it's I think it might be some of that bold, cocky nature that she sort of has about her. Maybe it's just me. But there are moments when she's doing things in scenes and I really enjoyed it. Especially in was it Power of the Doctor she was in? There was that scene where she was a hologram and she helps save it. Kind of a pointless moment, but I enjoyed that bit. But again, it's controversial probably that I didn't like either of them, or I didn't like Joe Martin's Doctor. Got nothing against it. Again, probably bad writing, but I don't want to say bad writing's the main excuse though, because it's not. Out of universe. In universe, Shoot is really the 16th incarnation of the Doctor. Out of universe, as the next actor to take on the role, he's really the 14th. Is he? Oh, as in, yeah, because skipping over the David Tennant. Yeah, technically he's the 14th if you include that David Tennant has already been the 10th. Yeah, it's confusing. Very confusing. This is the official count. Yeah, the official... I think David Tennant actually said this. No, was it David Tennant or was it the Doctor Who Twitter? Somewhere it was said about... Oh, that was it. It was one of the posts that Doctor Who put out themselves. Saying about... It showed the picture of David Tennant or Shooty, and it just said, meet the Doctor. It didn't say meet the 15th Doctor or the 14th Doctor, whatever the post was about. It just said meet the Doctor. And people were speculating if that's because they don't even know the number. Or if there's a different order to what we think. What would be so strange is if we see the first episode and it's Shooty. And really what we've been seeing is them filming David Tennant stuff, but David Tennant stuff is actually going to come after Shooty, which was secretly filmed, and there's going to be like a bit of Shooty Gatwa in there before, and that bit where he goes, what the hell is going on here, or whatever he says, that bit is actually because he's glitching, and that he glitches out of David Tennant at the beginning of the episode, becomes Shooty Gatwa for a bit, and then becomes David Tennant. David Tennant, Shooty Gatwa, and then David Tennant again. Yeah, anyway, you know what I mean. I'm waffling. Ryan or Adam are the worst. Adam? Who was Adam? Adam? But you're going to say Donna, aren't you? Yeah, see, you know I was going to say Donna, but it's not because Donna's bad, because I like Catherine Tate, but I just think she's better as a comedian than as an actress, like as a serious actress, if that makes sense. Not that Doctor Who's serious. I'm looking up Adam, Doctor Who companion. It could be one that I've not seen yet, but I can't imagine you mentioning... Oh, him! Oh God, is he the guy with the eye, with the third eye? Yeah, that was ridiculous. Yeah, he was probably one of the worst, to be fair. I completely forgot he was a companion. Yeah, I think I've forgotten a fair few of the episodes, so yeah, he's probably one of the worst. Yeah, so Amy Pond was really good. When someone other than Chibnall writes for her, perhaps. Yeah, I think if she got RTD, I wish she had got RTD, as in Jodie Whittaker, if she got RTD, because I really do think he would have properly written her a good version of the Doctor. Very much the David Tennant style, because she's got that bumbliness that David Tennant has. She's got the serious stuff that David Tennant has. She's got it in her to do that, is what I mean. So I think she could, but it's not written that way. So yeah, I'm continuing to read, so if you see me just sort of staring and going what over the screen, that's why. Will be interesting to see your opinion, if your opinion changes when we get to the 80s. Oh, about the worst companion. Oh, I say. Yeah, I'll have to see what happens, because without seeing the episodes, I love the 80s theme tune, so when we get to that, I am going to be raving to that tune. Probably the first time I ever said that, but I'm going to be raving to that tune, because when I was doing my intros for the Doctor Who videos, I always want to play, instead of my intro music, you know, my Movies with Marty intro music, I always want to play the 80s Doctor Who theme, and I want to put that at the end credits as well. And I even wanted to get a remix of the 80s theme for the end credits, but it's copyright, so I can't. But then again, the whole TV show is copyright, and I'm still doing it. But you know what I mean. But it's got an epic tune. So yeah, I'll have to check it out. Knowing of Tegan and Mel, because I know Bin Rose mentioned Tegan and Mel, I liked how they brought them back, but I think, from what I've heard, that they weren't as good as when they were in the originals. So I don't know. Again, could have been writing. I don't know how they were in the originals, so I'll have to check it. I really want to get through more of Doctor Who ASAP, because I want to just eat all of it up and just find out all of the episodes. I also have realised that every time I film, this is why I need to film on different times to when I am currently filming, because every time I've filmed, other than the last episode, I have had a migraine coming on. And I think I've mentioned it a few times in videos, but yeah, I've had a migraine coming on every single time I've watched Doctor Who, and it's annoyed me because I can't sometimes pay attention properly to the things that are there. It doesn't help the light, so I always lower it when I'm doing reactions now. Probably should have done that today, actually, because I'm staring at you guys more than the screen, so... Or at the camera. It's not really you guys, is it? Yeah, going back to the River Song, sorry. You mentioned about River Song. I think they could bring her back. Someone said this the other day as well, that if they brought her back with Tennant, not with Ncuti, but with Tennant, it's still David Tennant's Doctor, different Doctor, but she thinks it's still the same. So when she says about the younger face, oh, you look a lot younger, it would still be his face, and so would be an older one when she sees him, if that makes sense, if they were to bring her back. But I don't know if they will or not. I think that was the beginning of the timeline when we last saw her, because it's the backwards timeline, isn't it? I think. I've just seen a comment. I've seen that your least favourite Doctor, Sean, is Matt Smith. I can see why, because when it changed from David Tennant, there was such a juxtaposition between the two. When it became Matt Smith, I wasn't put off in the end, but immediately, because of the way he was, I got really put off with it. And I think it was because he looked so different to, especially how he was later in the show, but he looked so different at first to David Tennant, and the messiness that he was. I really didn't like it, the way they were doing it. But then the newer episode came out, because he looked odd in that quick bit we see at the end of the episode. But then when the new episode came out with the new filming style as well, I loved it. The cinematic filming style when he's eating the fish fingers and custard, which I've tried, and it's disgusting, just to say. Hey, if you want me to, I'll try it again on stream at some point, but I don't have any, so... Tell you what, if we get maybe at 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers, whenever that may be, could be in years to come, but well, when it gets to that point, maybe I should say at a certain number of subscribers, I'll eat fish fingers and custard, because it's disgusting, but it's not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, we'll all have fish fingers and custard together. Imagine. It's just a community of people eating fish fingers and custard. Lovely. I'm trying to scroll and this thing keeps clicking the chat, and I'm going, no, I don't want to click it. Do not want to click it. There are quite a few potential candidates, to be honest. Oh, okay, that's a chat between yourselves. Sorry, my brain. Oh, you saw the latest English words. English, speak it. You were talking about thingy. What's it called? I'm trying to switch windows. So, sorry, you were talking about the Indiana Jones movie, the new one. Yeah, it's meant to be. It's meant to be bad. But I've not seen, and you are gonna hate me, I've not seen the other ones, any of the other films. I've seen briefly the first one, when I say briefly, I mean I've watched a few scenes of the first one because my granddad used to love them, and it would be like a Sunday when we go around there, and I remember it came on just before I left, and I started watching the first few scenes before I got told we had to go, and I never watched them again. Not for any specific reason. I just never got around to watching them. I've wanted to see them for years because I think I would love them. And I know scenes from it. Like I'll know the boulder scene, and I know the scene with Sean Connery. Sorry, not Sean Connery. The scene with, I know Sean Connery's in it, but he's wearing, Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones is sat at a table and he is wearing a white suit. And apparently, and I don't know how true this is, apparently that suit is the suit that Sean Connery wore as Bond. The white suit, that is. I don't know how true that is, but if it is, that is awesome. But yeah, my granddad was very much, as in he looked very similar to Sean Connery. And so that's one of the reasons he used to love Indiana Jones and the old Bond films. And again, I've not seen the old Bond films. And they were something I wanted to watch on the channel. My throat's playing up from talking so much, so I'm trying to keep hydrated. With coffee, it's not a good idea. They were something I wanted to watch on the channel, but I didn't know if you guys would be interested. Because I know a lot of people have been watching Bond on YouTube as reactions. So I don't want to saturate the market too much. Which I didn't know I was doing with 12 Angry Men, but apparently quite a few people have recently been watching 12 Angry Men. I didn't know that, which is probably why that video is a little bit more popular, but I watched it because it was either recommended to me or you guys mentioned it to me, so I went, well, I've got it, I'm going to watch it. And fun fact with that is when I watched it, I edited with, as in I edited to the Blu-ray copy of it, but I watched, for the reaction when I was watching it, I watched the DVD copy of it. It was a really bad, not grainy, it was a really bad copy. No, was it that one? No, yeah, it was that one, yeah. I watched the DVD copy of 12 Angry Men, because I have that. Then I replaced that with the Blu-ray copy. Same with Arsenic and Old Lace. So I put a video out the other day, a short video, which I'm probably, I've got something to say about shorts, which I keep meaning to say to you guys. But I did I watched Arsenic and Old Lace as the DVD, and it was really bad quality, and I kept trying to find the English copy of it in Blu-ray because I wanted it to be really good quality so I could show you guys it in good quality. I couldn't find it anywhere. Nothing was available. They were all Region A or Region 1, which is the American version, because it was only ever released in Region 1, unless, which I didn't know this, unless you find foreign versions. And I found the Spanish version online, and I was trying to, because obviously if you've not got the disc in front of you, you don't know what audio tracks it has, and I kept trying to find out if it had the audio track of English, because if it has the audio track, that will automatically sync with the video, which is exactly the same as having the English copy. And I found the Spanish version, and I bought the Spanish version, and it was already imported to the UK, so I just had to buy it. So it was even cheaper than I expected it to be. But yeah, found it, and that's there. Same with 12 Angry Men, but that one there was a copy of, so that was fine. It was okay, better than the one before, but it was not as good as 3 for the Indiana Jones. Yeah, I mean, having not seen any of them, I'm sorry that I don't know, but I will be watching them at some point, wherever it will be down the timeline. I will watch Indiana Jones, Bond, possibly another, I'm not going to say what it is because I've already mentioned it before, and I feel like I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of this specific set of films, because I have never, not so much never enjoyed them, but I've never, yeah, I'm not going to say it. I've already mentioned it before on stream, but I'm not going to say it. And if I ever do it, then fine. But there's a lot to that franchise, and it's not the superhero one. I've already seen all of those, and I don't like them. It's not that I hate them. I just don't understand. We've already said this before on stream, but yeah, I don't understand a lot of. I don't want to put people off, but I just don't understand the same old storyline, just rehashed for another film. Here we go. Let's plunge a load of money, millions of pounds, into another superhero film when there doesn't need to be another one. Yeah, but it's not that. That's not what I was thinking. You probably know what it is, but it's the other one that's alongside that. So several of the companies have been served much better by Big Finish since the 80s. That was to Binro, notably Mel, blah blah blah. And with age, Tegan is now tolerable. Really? I know that was to Rat, but yeah, I didn't realise that she was tolerable, and now, sorry, that wasn't tolerable, and now is tolerable. Was Tegan one of the worst companions then? I don't know. Yes, Adam is from Dalek and The Long Game. Yeah, he's the guy that I just looked up about the third eye thing. When he snaps his fingers and his eye opens. Such a weird storyline. Very weird storyline. There was another one I thought of the other day. I went, oh my god, yeah, that was such a weird storyline. But it's gone. It was in Modern Who, but agreed, the 80s theme tune is one of the best. It is, and I love the 80s, as you know, but I love the 80s, so yeah, I'm going to have a field day with those episodes. And I also love the really, I know it's going to be stupid, but I love the cheesy 80s stuff as well. And I keep wanting on the channel to do, if you guys are interested, I might try to start doing it, especially as it gets to nearer Christmas time, just having a bit of fun. I really want to watch some terrible movies, like real bad, hilarious, cheesy type films that we can kind of not so much, because when I watch films now, especially on the channel, when I'm watching films, I am analysing them and commentating on them, and some people I know aren't that keen on that style of reaction. But with recent times of some reactors and some people getting into trouble for not giving enough of a reaction to things, not film reactors, but this is talking about, you know, TikTok reactors and all that kind of stuff. I can give you certain names, but with all of that stuff blowing up recently, I always try to give good reaction content, if that makes sense, instead of it being just me sitting there in the corner like, huh, yeah, which I know I am sometimes, but this is why I was so nervous about putting out 2001 Space Odyssey, because I was so intrigued with that film, and I said a lot in the film because there was no talking in the film for the first 20 or so minutes, but I was so engrossed in that film that I felt like, until I got to the editing stage and I realised how much I said, I felt like I hadn't given enough of a video reaction to it, but it was fine in the end, I think. Possibly second best to Delia Derbyshire's. What on earth is Delia Derbyshire? Is that a character? Is that a... There's a lot of them that... I feel like that is a character. Wait, what? How Delia Derbyshire made Doctor Who something. Wait, was she the composer of... Because I've seen the guy who does the music of the 80s theme tune. Was she the one that wrote the 80s theme tune for Doctor Who? She did something for Doctor Who with writing. And it looks like a theme tune, but... Yeah, this is it. Sorry, Longfoot. You've seen some stone-faced reactors. I don't get it, and there's a lot of people, there's a lot of reactors... Please don't get me wrong, I'm never slating. I've said a few things before about reactors and stuff, whether it be film reactors or not film reactors, you know, just people that react to, there's certain people that have got in trouble recently where they either react to TikTok or they react to people's full videos and just watch the full video in full with barely any reaction to it whatsoever. I don't get that, because surely you want to serve your audience and hang out with your audience watching what it is. But also, I understand it, like if you're watching a film with a friend, they don't just natter throughout the whole thing, but you see their reaction to certain points. Like when I saw, so what I did is when I watched The Last of Us, about 2 or so days later from watching The Last of Us with you guys, I then went around my friend Charlie's and we watched each episode of The Last of Us each week after me watching it for the channel. And so I knew what was going to happen in the episodes, and then I would look at him at certain points and see what his reaction was. But obviously he wasn't doing a reaction video, so yeah, I understand what you mean about people's reactions to things being quite stone-faced sometimes and just boring, I suppose. But then you also get the reactors who really overdo it or have seen the content already but play out as if they haven't seen the content already, which is now why I've tried to swing away from films that I've already seen. I think the only ones that I'm going to be watching on the channel that, and I've said this before, I'm sorry, but the only ones that I'm going to be watching that I know that I've seen before. Sometimes I'll see something when you guys have requested it and I'll go, yeah, I'd love to watch that on the channel. And then I'll watch the trailer to it and go, I've already seen it. So I'll then have to wipe it from the list and say, I can't see it, I'm sorry, I've seen it already. But there's certain, the only ones I'm going to be doing it with is the new Ghostbusters, as in the one that came out, Afterlife. I've seen that already back when it came out in the cinemas, but because we've already seen the other Ghostbusters on the channel, a lot of people wanted me to see Afterlife. They didn't want me to see 2016, thank God, because I haven't seen it and I probably won't see it. I think I've started to watch it at one point. I think I mentioned this. I've started to watch it at one point, not for the channel, but just off the channel. Wasn't too keen on the sort of the slant of them just redoing all of it. It would have made more sense keeping it in the same vein as the originals and them being like a follow-on team, but they weren't. They were just redoing the team. But yeah, so I might watch Ghostbusters Afterlife, but I don't know yet, and Back to the Future 2 and 3, because I've seen number 1, even though I've seen that already for years. I've seen that, but yeah, they're the only other ones. Anything else though, I won't be watching reruns unless people ask me to rewatch a film. Like someone asked me to rewatch Avatar 2, even though I saw it in cinemas. A couple of weeks later, that someone asked me to watch it, and obviously if I have a lot of people ask me for it, I might do a rewatch with you guys. But yeah, some fun films nearer the end of the year, sort of, I'd say Halloween / Christmas time would be cool. One thing I have planned, and I'm going to mention the shorts thing as well in a second, because I might do that. But one thing I have planned, and I've got a copy of it for us to watch near Halloween, is Ghost Watch. I've never seen it. If you don't know, it's like a UK BBC televised show that everyone thought was real, and it's a ghost paranormal show. It's just one episode, but it was a special about this real haunted house or something, and it's meant to be really good, and it put the frights up everyone that watched it because they thought it was real, because it was on the news and on TV as this special broadcast as if it was a real thing, but it was all fake. It was all a dramatized event. So we know that it's a dramatized event going in, but I've seen a clip of it and it looks really cool. So not to analyze it, not to do anything, I just thought it'd be really fun to sit down with you guys and watch it at Halloween. And that's the same thing I've done with Home Alone. I love doing those. And I've got Home Alone 4 coming out this Christmas, which I've already watched last Christmas, just haven't edited it yet. The uncut is on Patreon though. So, and there is a review on this channel already for it, which was the review from the end of the one that I already recorded. It's confusing, I know. You started watching Doctor... Sorry, Sean. I've kind of got out of reading the chat. Apologies. Yeah, that thing about... I'm going to get onto that, about the trolling thing in a second. It's so interesting to see what you guys think of this, because I'll look at other reactors on purpose. Sometimes, if I want to see... Especially if I see it in my recommended, I'll click on it just to be curious as to what their instant reaction is to a film. And 9 times out of 10 that I've seen, not the ones that are my favourites, because those I tend to know they are pretty realistic, but there's a certain, I'm not going to say who it is, but there's a certain channel that I've seen videos of, and they're like that. They'll be like, oh yeah, it's the first time, and it's obvious it's not. But I don't know. I'm not going to say any bad names, because people do it because people ask them to watch it as well. Sometimes it's not just because they haven't seen the film, sorry, that they have seen the film and they just try and make out that they haven't seen it. But then other times it's because that film is popular among the reactors at the time, and then they just go, well, I'll react to that because other people are reacting to it. For instance, I don't want people thinking that 12 Angry Men, because everyone has been reacting to it lately, that's the reason why I did, because that's not why. I was already asked to watch it. But this is also the thing that I think I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I know the reason a lot of people watch the same things at the same time is because the audience, you guys, not specifically you guys, but the audience of theirs asks them, inundates them with requests for those specific films, and that's because their other favourite reactors have already watched those. And so that's why the other reactors then watch those, because they want to see their reaction to it as well, if that makes sense. Like, say I was to watch, I don't know, Hot Fuzz tomorrow, and then I'm not the initial channel for people to do it with, but say you guys then go to 3 or 4 other creators and say, oh, could you react to Hot Fuzz? And all of you kind of group together and go, then that's more likely going to make them want to watch Hot Fuzz, if that makes sense. So that could be the reason why a lot of people do the same films all at once, but I don't tend to, because I always tend to have really random films that barely anybody knows about, or that people know from years ago, and they go, oh my god, I forgot about this one, or thank you for watching this, this was one of my favourite films, and nobody watches it, which is where I love to get people. So thank you for the requests you guys give me, is to catch people off guard with a film that they love, but no one's ever watched it before. I still think one of the most underrated films that we've watched on the channel, that I don't think people know the unless you see it, people don't know the full force of the film, and it can make people go, oh no, I don't like it, is Silent Night. And it's not Silent Night, Deadly Night. I've not seen that, but it's a film called Silent Night with Keira Knightley. That was a strong film to wrap your head around. But yeah, it's very, very good. Yes, yeah, Longfoot, yeah, you can tell it just by looking at the comments. It's just a billion people requesting the same stuff. It's mostly due to the audience requests, yeah. But for me, like if quite a few people have said, can you see such and such, I'd probably say I would, but I've seen it. Unless it's something that I find is a really fun film. Like if you guys want me to watch Hot Fuzz, for instance. I keep saying Hot Fuzz. It's because it's a good favourite of mine, but it's just something I put on in the background, and I have a lot of fun watching it because I know all of it. But saying that, or Harry Potter, because I've seen them all a million times, and I don't know, something that I enjoy, basically. Like Ghostbusters. I've seen that a fair few times before, but when I watched it on the channel, I hadn't seen it in years at that time, which is also the reason why Afterlife I've kind of left a little bit, because I didn't want to watch it like the next. I think I wanted to watch it last year on the channel, and I thought, no, I'll wait a bit, because if I wait a bit longer, there's more time between originally seeing it and rewatching it. kind of makes the reaction a bit more fresh, which is a lot of the reason why most of the films that I have seen previously, when I see a clip of it, I go, oh, and I have thought about this on the channel, even though I've seen certain films, sometimes I watch it again and I'm going, like when I've watched films before myself, the other day I did one, and I went, I don't think I've seen this, and I looked at it and I went, I got to about 3/4 of the way through and I went, oh my god, I've seen it. I remember this scene. I remember what happens at the end. And yeah, but it's only until a certain point that you remember that you've seen it, because it's been such a long time. Oh, Sean, you need to try fish fingers and custard. Sir, try it. It's awful. And I apparently have very bad internet, so apologies. I'm hoping you can hear me still. I'm hoping it doesn't cut out on me. Fingers crossed. I just realised I said it will be about 2 hours and it's been about 2 hours now. Sorry guys. I've still got a lot that I want to say. Not much more, but you know, I've still got quite a fair bit and I like hanging out. So, we're hardly going to hate you. Great opportunity for future reaction videos. For what? For which ones? Well, for Doctor Who? Or do you mean for... Oh, do you mean for... Was it for my taste in favourite companions and least favourites? Red. Or Rat. I don't want to call you Rat. I feel like that's horrible to call you Rat. Hello, Rat. How are you doing? Hello, Red. Tegan was a very brash Australian. Oh, okay. Well, I like Australians, but Tegan, yeah, Tegan was the woman that was in the newer episode as well. It was just too much for an 11-year-old. Hearing someone just talking like this the entire time. No, don't worry, mate. It's fine. It's funny because when I was at work, I spoke in a normal accent, obviously, not in trying to imitate an Australian, but one of my old workplaces, I would automatically say at the end of it, I'd say, thank you, have a good day. And good day would always go into good day. But a fair few people, not specifically because of that, a fair few people kept saying to me, oh, you're Australian? But no, I'm British. But I think it's because the British accent, maybe my generic-y kind of British accent sounds to some people. I think they might have been American, the people that had said it at the time, the few that I'd seen. But yeah, a lot of people said I sounded Australian, and I'm saying, no, I'm English. But yeah, I could understand for an 11-year-old, the Australian accent could be a bit grating, or a bit too much. Older me gets the character. Yeah, I personally, for me, what was it? There was an accent when I was a kid that I always used to think sounded funny. Could have been the Australian accent, to be fair. I don't know. I don't think it was, because I've always liked Australians. I don't know. There was an accent there. But yeah. Yeah, the trolling thing does feel like a bit, sometimes people do go, do you know, I'll watch that and say that I've not seen it, so that other people will think it's a true reaction, but I actually know what's coming. And in some ways, yes, it does give you a better reaction when people do troll and say that they haven't seen the film. But yeah, it gives them a better reaction in some ways because they know what's coming, so they can be like, and they can be over the top with it all, which I never do. Sometimes I feel like maybe I do go a bit overboard with reacting, but it's just my natural face, like it's my natural reaction to it, especially when I see things like all my thumbnails, by the way. I think a lot of people, when they do their thumbnails, I don't know how other channels work, I think a lot of people, when they do their thumbnails, certain reactors, they either use the same thumbnail again and again, like their picture of them, or they'll take a picture specifically for the thumbnail, which I know a lot of channels, that's how they do their thing. I take my pictures for my thumbnails straight from the video itself, straight from my reaction. So I always skip to the bit that I remember having such a strong emotion to, or being so shocked at, and I'll grab the thumbnail. So if you scroll through 2001 Space Odyssey, for instance, the face that I do on that thumbnail is me being shocked or whatever from a certain point. Some channels do it differently. little bit of insight. Makes me wonder why they're being a reactor. I wonder. There's a certain side to reaction content that I, as much as it kind of went ooh to me when I first started, that wasn't why I started becoming a reactor. Like, I suppose am I a reactor? You know what I mean? When I started the channel, I never even though I say about reactions and stuff, I never like calling myself a reactor or that I do reaction content. I always prefer to say, even content creator, that annoys me because a lot of YouTubers and TikTokers and that just kind of get clumped into one big bundle of content creators. But I do make content, or I make videos for you guys as entertainment. So I first became a reactor because I started on a different channel, the previous channel I had, and I've mentioned this before, but in case you're new, I'll say it really quick. I'll briefly do it. I had a previous channel that I had, funnily enough, about the same subscribers. Actually, no, it was a couple of hundred less than what I have now. I spent years building that thing up, and I left it back in 2015-16, maybe earlier, I'm not sure. So I was like an early YouTuber, and I did comedy content. I did little skits and funny things where I'd have clones of myself in the videos and just have a laugh and stuff. And I then came back last year, about 2 months before I did this channel, and I started doing reaction trailers, like trailer reactions to stuff. You know, there's channels that just do reactions to trailers, and because the audience had already disappeared by that point that I had built, it was so difficult. There was no views, nobody was watching the videos at all, which I know isn't my point in making the videos, but if no one was watching them, and when I mean no one, I mean there was no one watching the content. It was on 0 on about day 30 of posting one. Because it was such a long time, the YouTube algorithm had kind of just shoved me out of the way and binned me. And I enjoyed what I was doing, but because no one was watching it, there was no point in doing it. Because I did about 20 videos, I think it was. I've still got them now, but I did about 20 videos, and I thought about re-uploading them onto here, because I did like a breakdown of Blade Runner 2049, visual effects, the film, the newer Edgar Wright film, you know, the slightly horror-based one. I did that one. I did the visual effects breakdown of that one, but I look really dishevelled and awful. The lighting was awful in the video because I hadn't got a proper light for it. I had a light, but it didn't look great. And I don't like I hadn't properly set up the camera. It looked really grainy. It looked awful. So I just binned it off. Made sure to get better equipment, and then started this channel. And I thought about it for a while, thinking I want to watch films because I love films, and I love trailers because I'm a trailer editor. That's not my profession, but I love editing trailers as a hobby and love the style of trailer editing, and that's why I wanted to do the trailer ones at first. And then because I was watching films and I would always have stuff to say about films, like when I would watch them in personal life, especially when I was with friends and I always chat about films, and I went, why don't I just start a channel where I can just talk about film and watch films? And I then started watching a lot of reaction channels naturally, whilst I was doing other stuff and editing my own little funny things together and editing trailers together. And because I was watching these other channels, it just dawned on me one day that because I love doing this kind of thing and I love physical media and that, why don't I just kind of combine everything and make a reaction channel? It was kind of, it was two things at once. It felt like the bane of my life to make, because I kind of had, not the bane of my life, but I had this thing that I thought reaction channels were easy. Sorry, I've got a really itchy nose. Not easy, but I thought the content was probably one of the easiest you could probably make. It didn't feel like there was enough in there to make it a worthy channel to make. But then I realised that I had a lot to say when I watched like the Back to the Future, the first video that we did. And you can see the quality that I was saying about in that first video. I need to re-release that, by the way, as a longer cut. That's another thing I'm meant to be doing for this Back to the Future Day coming up, as I'm recutting that as a better reaction using the uncut that I had from the previous one. But yeah, that's around the same time I might do 2 and 3, but I don't know. Again, I don't really want to do a double. I will get back to the chat in a second. I'm really sorry. But when I first started, I started the channel and then thought, well, this is perfect because I can just kind of shove instead of bothering people with talking about films and annoying people, I just kind of pour all of my info, you know, all of the things that I want to say about something into the channel. I could do movie reviews, I could do reaction content, I could do trailer reactions, and then it kind of just turned out into, I preferred doing just the movie reactions and stuff, and I like doing the other stuff like reviews and trailer reactions, but I think people would prefer me doing reactions, so that's kind of what I preferred doing. And I wanted to get into watching the old Doctor Who's, so I started watching the old Doctor Who's on the channel, and people liked it. So yeah, and quite a few people had said to me, why don't you watch old Doctor Who? Because I watched Power of the Doctor. But yeah, that's the kind of story of me starting the channel and continuing it from there. If you guys want to know anything specific, feel free to ask me questions. But I even thought about redoing some of the old videos, but I thought no, because then it's just me rehashing something from the old, so it's better to not. Yeah, when you said about makes me wonder why they're being a reactor, yeah, that's the thing I thought after starting the channel. I kept looking at other channels and kept thinking, oh, are they just doing it for the money? Are they doing it, you know, for people? Something there, what is that? Go away. It's not you, I don't mean that. Yeah, I wondered if they're just doing it for the money. But I know a lot of them, especially the ones that I follow, they just do it because they love film and having fun and just talking about films more. So yeah, I feel like I've talked too much about that. I meant the Delia Derbyshire did the original theme that you're currently watching. Oh, did she? I did not know that. The original theme. I didn't realise that she did that one. Oh, that's cool. I heard somewhere along the lines that a lady had done a theme, but I didn't know it was the Doctor Who theme. It was something I read when I read an article about Doctor Who, but I didn't know what it was in there. It's synthetic music, concrete, way ahead of its time. The Peter Howell 80s version has quite the kick to it. Yeah, that's the one. There's the have you seen the Peter Howell video on YouTube for him making the theme? I think it's Peter Howell in there. I'm pretty sure it is. It's so cool. There is a bit of video I've got of one guy in a studio making the Doctor Who something. It's like a background. There's a behind the scenes video that was included on one of the physical discs. And what are your thoughts on the Australian disc, physical media disc thing? By the way, it's horrible that Disney are completely cutting everything from Australia, but as in physical media. But I know I'm not in Australia, so I don't know the full extent of it. But it's horrible that they're doing it. I don't really watch much Disney though, so it doesn't completely affect me anyway. But Doctor Who is going to Disney, so as in streaming. Yeah, this little behind the scenes bit of video though, I wanted to include it on one of the videos, one of the reaction videos, but I don't think it would. Yeah, I think it would get pulled for copyright if I included most of it on there, so I just didn't. A couple of things I was going to say before I continue with the chat, which I will do, because I'll forget otherwise. The shorts thing. So, I keep thinking for a while that I don't want to make shorts of videos that I've already created, because I think that would probably annoy you guys, seeing a short of just like a snippet of a video that I already made, which is good because it brings in new viewers. It will help expand the channel a bit more by doing that. So I made the one the other day about physical media because it was something that I kind of thought you guys might want to know, and I was thinking of it. I did about 50 takes of that, by the way. Yeah, about 50 takes of that same video before I got it how I wanted it to be and with all the info. But another thing I wanted to say about the shorts is, instead of doing those clips, and because I know a lot of people are a bit, I don't like shorts, and I can't stand shorts. I don't like even the clothing shorts. I'm not that keen on them. I always wear jeans and other trousers. But anyway, I think shorts they're TikTok. That's it. That's for TikTok. Shorts shouldn't be a thing. Same with reels. Having to get rid of the photo part of it and just have reels as the main making thing of Instagram is ridiculous. Photos are the thing of Instagram. I'm one of those people that doesn't like them, so apologies. But for shorts, my plan to bring other people in, and I don't know if this is going to kind of conflict with the audience that we've kind of got, and people are going to look at the main videos and go, wait, but these are reaction videos. I thought you were going to do content like the shorts. Well, my idea for potential shorts content is when I've got some spare time, I'll record bits of voiceover. And these voiceovers will be movie mistakes and film facts. And I then put together, not me on camera, I then put together shorts for the channel of just a couple of facts, minute long, a couple of facts or a couple of mistakes, and show the mistakes on the screen from the films or TV shows or whatever, and have those as like an introductory to the channel, because you're watching things about films and TV shows. They click on the channel and they'll see my reactions to things, and maybe do them about the specific films we've just seen. So once I've seen 12 Angry Men, for instance, or Logan's Run, for instance, then I'll say some facts or trivia, maybe even recut the trivia that I've got at the end to be some shorts. I don't know yet. What are your thoughts? Yeah, see, a lot of people don't I think a lot of you guys here on the channel as well don't watch any of that stuff. Like you, Sean, you don't watch TikTok or shorts, and I don't. In my spare time, I used to, and I have a TikTok, and it's stupid because I have a TikTok for the channel as well, but I don't use it. I posted the video that I posted the shorts the other day, and that was it. But I don't use it specifically because I don't know what to post on there, unless I post things about the media that I own, or maybe a shorter version of something that I think is funny from a video that we've made. Other than that, I don't think I'm going to use it. Or I just kind of, like I was going to do the other day, say, oh, I've just been to see Oppenheimer, it's great, new videos coming soon of the review, blah blah blah. Unless I do something like that, I don't see the need to do it, because or maybe answer questions or speak about film on there just as me to camera kind of thing. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe do that as a short instead, or just do that as TikTok. But I know you guys don't watch it, so you don't usually watch it. But that's the thing. So it will recommend, if I do those, it will recommend people the videos as shorts, and then if they like film and TV, they might go, oh, I'll click on the channel, see what it is. Oh, it's reaction content. That's where I think that people are going to be a bit dismayed with it, but they might enjoy the shorts, and it might still help to grow the channel, because they might think, oh, it's film stuff, cool, I'll check it out. I don't know, but it's something extra that I originally thought about doing as actual episodes on the channel. Then I thought that's far too different from what I normally do. Then I thought, do I make a separate channel, like a movie mistakes with Marty or something? I don't know. Then that's something entirely different. I don't want to make another channel. I want to, but I don't, because it's a lot of work to even maintain one channel. Even the channel that I had that I said when I first started, which was audiobooks. I have an audiobook channel where I now also have audiobooks on. I think I've said this. I have audiobooks on Audible, full audiobooks. They're not my books, but they're my voice. I've got 3 or 4 of them. But because of that, I then thought I'll just do it as an audiobook channel. It kind of took off, but it wasn't as taking off as well as this, and I enjoyed doing this more because it was a bit more creative, especially with the video editing side. And the audiobook stuff can be quite boring because it is just you for hours and hours talking down a microphone, and then you've got to fine tune it and edit it and put that out, and it can be a bit monotonous. But yeah. Then the other thing I was going to say about, I'll read a bit of the chat first, and then we'll go back into that. There was another thing I was going to say, so that was it. Sorry, the other thing I was going to say is the YouTube members is now set up as well, and I felt odd setting it up because I didn't know whether or not to set it up or not, because I know I have Patreon, but some people don't want to go to another website and sign up, and some people are a bit dubious about Patreon. I thought, well, if I keep it all in one place, people might like the same content that you get over at Patreon, but you also get emojis, emotes and stuff. Like I've got a David Tennant one, funnily enough. These are the ones I've got. I don't think, if I include these, I don't think you can use them, and you might be able to use them, I don't know. But they're the ones I've got. So I've got, I made these myself. A little David Tennant one, a little Monty Python foot, a little orange VHS tape because I thought it was quite funky. It also reminds me of one of the first tapes I had. I'll say one of the first tapes. It was one of the first that I remember. And that was an orange tape. And then good old James Stewart doing his face. That's going to be a picture somewhere, but doing that face, I thought it was quite funny. I had another one that's a TARDIS as well. It's just a TARDIS flying. So that is also another one that will come soon once we've been able to grow that. But again, and it also means it opens up other ways to support me as well if you want to. You don't have to. That's not me saying you have to, because I just enjoy making it for you guys. But it's there in case, like super chats. Is that what it's called? I think it's called super chats. Other various things like that. Anyway, that's a thing aside that I keep meaning to say. As much as I don't want to say it, I keep meaning to say it for you guys. I thought about doing it in a video, and I thought no, because it's just easier saying it on a live stream. So there you go. And I had my first super chat thing the other day. It wasn't a super chat, I don't think. It was something. I had my first one of those the other day. So thank you if you're watching and you paid for it. I don't think you are, because I haven't seen your name yet. But yes, moving on. I mostly watch YouTube as something to play in the background. Yeah, I do the same thing. When I'm editing, TV's over there, and I watch. I'm really weird. Like, even though I make reaction content, I'll either watch non-reaction content 90% of the time, and I'll either watch a commentary video on something, just because it's like a podcast audio type thing, or I'll watch podcast type stuff. One of them is Stephen Howlett, I want to say. Is that Stephen Howlett? He's a very good podcaster. So I recommend his channel if you enjoy podcast type stuff. I'm not a big podcast fan. I mean, I thought of starting a podcast, but everybody's got a podcast now, and I don't know what I'd say in them. We do talk for hours here, so I probably have a lot to talk about, but I wouldn't have you there to talk with me. So, unless we do live podcasts. But yeah, I either watch those or I watch gaming videos sometimes. Like people playing games, playthroughs and stuff. Because as much as I don't game, I do kind of want to. I do game sometimes. Like I love The Last of Us, for instance, or I've been wanting to play. Please don't hate me for this, because I know a lot of people don't seem to want to play the game because of certain people that it's to do with, but because I love Harry Potter, as we've said, I want to play the Hogwarts Legacy again. I don't have it yet, but I've been wanting to play it. Sean, as you said, you've only seen the first 15 minutes of the first Harry Potter. it's good. I really enjoy it. 1 and 2 are my favourites. After that, they kind of get dark, but I still really enjoy them. And they're my guilty pleasure of when I feel in like an autumn mood. And that's a really weird thing to say, but yesterday I felt in an autumn mood. And I listened to the Harry Potter soundtrack. I felt in that sort of Halloween / Christmassy mood, so that's why I listened to it. But yeah. Now to do with being Australian, more argumentative with well, everyone. She's better in Power of the Dog. So okay. Yeah, I'll have to see it because I haven't checked out any of the. Obviously, as you know, I haven't seen any of the other Doctor Who's yet, but it'll be interesting to see her in it. I want to see how different they are to what I know them as. Like Tom Baker, for instance. I know he's an incredible Doctor and he was in it for so many series apparently, but I don't know anything about his Doctor other than the fact that he likes jelly babies. Do you want a would you like a jelly baby? That's the only thing I know about him. And that he wears a scarf, like a multicoloured scarf and a hat, which is so cool. But yeah, that's all I know about him. Yeah, Red says, I mostly watch YouTube as something to play in the background, so often don't bother clicking on a video if it's too short. Yeah, this is the thing I did wonder about that with you guys. So, for instance, I've put videos out before that have been, like, the episodes of Doctor Who, for instance, originally were under 20 minutes long. And so I personally watch a mixture. I'll watch very long videos. So when people have done essay videos, commentary videos on shows like Malcolm in the Middle, or really weird ones like iCarly and stuff, because I used to watch stuff like that when I was a kid, or when I was a lot younger. So I'll put those on in the background. It wasn't when I was a kid, but it was, when I was younger. So I'll put those on in the background because I find that they're nice to listen to, and I'll look over and see something that I was like, that's a memory. I remember seeing that scene or whatever. So that's kind of what I'll do, which is the same with you guys with these videos. Probably do the same. So I'll watch really long stuff. One of them I watched was 8 hours long because it was just on in the background all day whilst I was editing. It was a long video, very, very bloody long video, but watched it. But then I'll watch, if I'm, say, off out in an hour or something, then I'll pop on a video and I want to watch a small video, not half an hour of a 3-hour video, do you know what I mean? So I'll watch a mixture of them. So say, for instance, I don't know how you guys are going to feel, but my new video, the next one that's coming out, is the Oppenheimer review. The Oppenheimer review, I wanted it to be about half an hour, it was filmed at about 39 minutes. There was a couple of bits that I took out. There was a lot of space in me trying to think of what I wanted to say. I cut that down to under 20 minutes. So I think it's about 17 or 18 minutes long. I'm hoping that's alright for you guys. It's a short video for what I normally put out, but it was my concise. I think that's quite long for one of my one of my reviews, but it was concise to everything I wanted to say about the film, and more so for the fact that I recorded all of it twice. Once when the microphone didn't work, and once when it worked. So there's that. Oh, another one that that was me thinking of a different film. I was going to say another one that I wanted to watch twice on the channel, but it wasn't. I was going to say Bill and Ted 2, but I've seen Bill and Ted 1. I've not seen Bill and Ted 2, so it's fine. Same with Wayne's World 2. I've not seen 2, and I've now seen it on the channel, but I haven't put it out yet. Because originally that was an emergency video to edit for the move. So if you guys like Wayne's World 2, I've got that in the bank ready. But I've not edited it yet, so maybe at some point. I'm thinking I'll put it out at some point when we want to have a bit of fun. Same with obviously Ghost Watch, and I've even thought about Cats, the film, as well. Just some random stupid films that I know are going to be terrible, but I just feel it's going to be laborious to edit it because I know it's terrible, but it will be a bit of fun. Like when I watched Home Alone's, I loved editing those, I loved watching those, because they're funny and Same with when I edit the What's Up Doc film. I know that's going to be funny because it keeps me entertained while I'm editing, because otherwise it can be laborious. Movie series that you haven't seen, Sean. Harry Potter, Mission Impossible, and John Wick. Well, I've not seen Mission Impossible. I've seen one, which is going to be odd as well, because if I watch them on the channel at some point, do I watch from 2 onwards? Do I watch number 1 again? I haven't seen that since it was on VHS. Was it on VHS? I think it was. Since the first time it got released on home media. That was when I saw it the first time, years ago. Many, many, many years ago. So I want to rewatch it again. So maybe that'll be a rewatch on the channel. But just saying that I have seen it. So I'm not going to be like, oh, I haven't seen it. Because I have seen it. I don't remember half of it, but I have seen it. But yeah, Harry Potter's very good. Even though I'm saying Harry Potter. Harry Potter's very good. I know all of the words to number 1. Because I was watching it the other day. Every word. It's funny because I put a video out on my old channel, and it was me mimicking the Harry Potter. You know when he does the "I'm sorry, but who are you?" He goes, "Well, what does he says now? You know when you go to say it and then you can't remember what he says. Okay, the bit I remember is the and he goes, a car crash killed Lily and James Potter. I love that bit. And the bit when he does the whole, "You're a wizard, Harry." I'm a what? A wizard. And a thumping good one too. Which is the bits that everybody remembers, but I know all of the words to that. I know all the words to Shrek, for instance. Yeah, I'm probably really blowing this mic out now because I'm right next to it. I've kind of got into a situation where I'm just talking to the mic like this instead of how I was earlier, like that. But it's comfy because I feel like I'm talking to you. I'm very loud. Everyone's looking for different things in channels, really. So it's mostly up to the creator. God. I've just realised what you were saying. It's mostly up to the creator. God, yeah. I thought you were going, it's mostly up to the creator. God. I like that. I like that. Yeah, I suppose it is up to the creator. I just like to... I suppose I like to please you guys, but I also like to just have a nice time and do content that I know you guys will like. Which is, I've got a video coming up which I've edited the main part of, as in the uncut too, and I was meant to edit them for the next week coming, but I never got round to it. I started working on Mad Max 2 instead, and the Doctor Who one that you've already seen, but originally it was meant to be. So once, I know it's kind of going into the situation we talked about earlier where I said once I've seen The Last of Us, once I've seen Doctor Who, there was going to be other stuff that were coming out, but because Doctor Who is so long running, that's going to be like a mainstay on the channel as is. The other show, The Last of Us, I've just finished watching, as in the video's coming out very soon, this coming week or early next week. The next video will be the Oppenheimer review, then that one. So, but originally, after The Last of Us, I've got one more episode, or sorry, 2 episodes of Goosebumps that I watched. I've got a random number calling my phone, but I don't know why. 7:45 at night. I don't know. I'll have to listen to it in a minute. But yeah, where did I get to? Sorry. It kind of ruined my train of thought. I've forgotten what I was saying. Oh, that was it, the Goosebumps episodes. So I put out loads ages ago, and I filmed 2 in the old house. They were the Say Cheese and Die and Say Cheese and Die Again. Filmed those and didn't get around to editing them because they were emergency videos as well as the Wayne's World 2. Anyway, they're done, and I want to. They should be pretty easy to kind of put together as one video, and they're going to be going out after the last episode of The Last of Us. Not because it's mainly just because I've got them and I want to put them out as soon as possible, because otherwise I'm not going to put them out forever. And I felt like that was a nice lead on then into the next show, which will be replacing that, which is a comedy show, which is Our Flag Means Death, because I've already started watching that on the Patreon and I need to put that out. So mainly because it's been requested, so I need to put that out at some point. And there's only 10 episodes of those. It's like The Last of Us. It's a small, nice little compact show. So once I've got these videos back in the bank again of having them edited, I'm going to be putting them out every 3 to 4 days if I can. Because originally it was every 3 days, and that's where a lot of the channel kind of built, because I was doing it so often. But then it kind of got a little less than that, because it was just, I was burning out so quickly, because every second, any moment in the day, I was editing. Unless I was sleeping or eating or going to the toilet or something, I was editing pretty much. Unless I, was out socializing, which was very rare, but or doing other stuff, then yeah, I was editing. So it was it was hard for a while, but it gave me a chance to build up this bank of videos, and then I kind of thought, it's killing me. I can't continue the way I was doing it, so I had to eke it out to every 6 days or so. And you guys said, at least as long as it's a video a week for now, that's fine, until I can get myself sorted out on that. So I'm still kind of getting myself sorted out from the move, even though the move was in April, but I'm getting there. I'm now actually getting there. So I mostly watch YouTube or something there. TikTok shorts are for people who are sitting attached to their phone. Exactly, but I thought that might be a good way to bring people in, because I very rarely use my phone now. I used to use it a lot more because of because of my other thing that I do, the radio and that, and trying to keep up with friends and when I was in a relationship and all that kind of stuff. So I used to use it a lot. I now very rarely use my phone, which is good. I don't like using it. So, and I get a lot of anxiety, so I always have it. Hence why when the call came through, it was on silent. It's on silent all the time. I never have it on loud now unless I need to. Which is also making me wonder why that call came through, because it was an unknown. It was a random number. I would search the number up now. I'm probably gonna be ending the live pretty soon, because I am actually meant to be up early tomorrow. Hence why I said it would be a couple of hours, but I've stayed a little longer than I expected. I've now been on for 3 hours or so. But I want to finish reading you guys' chat, because I feel bad. At least YouTube shorts are easy to ignore for those who don't want them. Exactly. Yeah, you can turn them off, but the other thing I thought of, if people don't like them, is there much point in making them? The point in me wanting to make them was because it expands the channel to people that haven't seen it, because if they are just scrolling on their phone and they see something and they go, oh, that looks cool, I'll click on the channel or I'll subscribe, and then they can watch the videos later when they're on their computer or watching it on TV or whatever. I don't know. But I am the same, because on my YouTube, on my main homepage, I've deleted shorts off of there. I don't like shorts being on there. It's the same with I think on this channel, I can't remember if I've done it, but I've hidden the shorts on the main page, because I despise shorts. But I only do it to keep engagement on the channel, if that makes sense, because it also helps if YouTube goes, oh, you've uploaded a video, whether it's a short or a main video, they go, I'll push your channel out a bit more. And it just people keep getting the recommended videos, or you'll actually see my videos when I post them, because for some reason YouTube either keeps unsubscribing people to channels, and I don't know why, because it's done it with me recently with a couple of channels that I watch, and I'm apparently not subscribed, and I know I've got a couple of YouTube channels, so I have to subscribe usually on both. So anybody that I want to subscribe with on this, I actually subscribe with the other one, usually. But yeah, YouTube's been both unsubscribing people, and it's not been recommending me, like showing me the videos when they post them. So I've had to find them for myself, which is really weird and annoying. I don't know why it's been doing it, but yeah. Maybe it's the same for you guys as well. Has it been the same with you guys? Because obviously this isn't all about me talking about me. I want to chat with you. That's why I do these, because it's not just another video. It's so I can chat with you guys, like we're doing. Everyone's looking for different things in channels. I am usually only on YouTube, Twitch, and occasionally Instagram. Yes, I am on Instagram for an account that I run that's not Movies with Marty. It's this other account, which is a fairly big a fairly big account. And so the only time that I use my phone when I'm on it, and if I'm on Instagram, is I want to be doing either my photography stuff, which I haven't posted anything in ages because I've been too focused on either this channel or this other stuff I've got on, or I'm on this other account trying to keep up with that, which is having like a billion things that I do is a bit annoying, to be fair. I would rather, and I keep saying this, I'd rather just do the YouTube channel, do this channel, cut off any other work that I have on, like favours that I do for people or whatever. And I know I love helping people out, but cut all of that stuff, cut off all of other social media, because I don't like using, as much as I like using social media, in the fact that it gives me a bit of a like, oh, I like that, I like seeing the news, because that's all I use Twitter for, really, is just news. And when I find out someone's passed away, usually, or if I, which is usually the notifications come through, oh, such and such has passed away, or you get the death scare that someone's passed away, or I use it to find if someone's put any new videos out, or if there's a new film coming out, to see a post about that, and then I go onto YouTube and look at the trailer. Or if I think the trailer looks really cool, if there's a film I want to see, then I'll watch it on here. So yeah, that's the only time that I tend to. And then Twitch, I do use Twitch. Well, I don't know, I say that, I haven't used that in months. Since last year, I want to say. I've watched very rarely, because I now just watch people playing games and stuff on YouTube, but for the background. But Twitch, even though I can get it on the TV / PlayStation, etc., but even though I can get it on there, I just kind of not. I think probably because a lot of the news about Twitch, it just kind of put me off going on there again, and I just haven't. But when I do game, I stream it. That's one of the reasons I don't play very often, is because I keep thinking every time I'm playing a game that I should just stream it, and I'm like, oh, should I stream this one? But I haven't streamed it in like a year, so, and I haven't played a game. Apart from the other day, I played a game called Donut Valley or Donut City or something. It's basically, you know, hole.io that you get on your phone. I don't know if you know that game. I haven't played it in years, but where you've got a hole and it gets bigger and bigger every time you swallow some like object on the ground, and it's addictive. And the game version of that is a little bit more annoying because you've got a storyline, but it's a little bit more addictive than that. It's good. But I digress from our conversation of films. Apologies. People are going, oh, bye-bye. Or I'm probably on in the background, aren't I, at the moment? Hello, family. I see you eating that toast. I had toast before this. I've still got to eat dinner and then get to bed. So I should probably go soon. So I'm really sorry. Because I didn't eat dinner today. I was meant to eat it before this, but didn't get a chance because I had everything on today. I may watch an analysis video of a movie or something in the background, but the main point of the first time reaction is to watch their reaction. Yes. Yeah, their face. Which, again, is another thing that I've found with a few people that have spoken to me about films and stuff. They seemed, as in when they leave a comment, I mentioned this before, I think, but it's laughable. but they'll say to me about it being a reaction, not with waffling, but they will also say you talk too much. I'm like, huh? Or it's not so much I talk too much, but they say that it's a reaction video. Kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same thing that's always said. But the whole point in a reaction video is, yes, you see my face to things like what you just said. But it's also, especially in editing as well, because although I am doing that when I'm watching it, I am just watching it and then saying some things and then continue to watch it for another 5 minutes. You'll probably not see all of that. You'll see cut up bits, especially because of copyright. So I'll then have to cut to my face. And this was the thing, especially when I did, I think, Casablanca, I kept in a lot more shots of my face. People go, why are you showing shots of your face? You're not even reacting. I go, no, but it's because of copyright. That's what I have to do. It's either that or it just looks really jump cutty randomly all of a sudden. And it's just segments of the film that I keep jump cutting through, which I do. But only there. I try not to do it as much because I'm trying to make it a smooth video for you to watch. But yeah. Where did we get to? Yeah, it's emotional. The faces, it can be emotional. And I like when we watched The Last of Us episode 3, or when I watched Silent Night, or when I watched various other films that I got really emotional at. I would say they're the films that I like reacting to. The very emotional stuff, because especially stuff where you don't expect that you're going to be emotional, and then all of a sudden it hits you like a brick wall and you go, oh my god, and you get really emotional. And there's been some times I've watched something and not thought that was going to happen at all, and then it's just hit me. Like, you don't know this yet, but Mad Max 3, I watched Mad Max 3, it was a little while ago now. But oh my god, I rewatched Hook the other day because of that, and I love Hook. One of my favourite films. Growing up is one of my favourite films. I've got the 4K of it, and so I was watching it the other day, and I watched Willy Wonka the other day because people have asked me to watch the newer one, which I haven't seen. Not the new one that's come out, or that's coming out, should I say, but the Johnny Depp one. I haven't seen that. And I'm probably not going to watch it yet, but I kept feeling like I really wanted to watch the original. So I did. I watched Flight of the Navigator the other day because I love that. And then, weirdly, within the same week, Paul Rubens passed away. The guy who plays Max, the alien. He was credited as Paul Moore. You'll know him as Pee Wee Herman probably, but he was in that. But yeah, then I watched Hook. But the reason I watched Hook was because something kept nagging at me since watching Mad Max 3. Because when I watched that, there were so many times that I kept going. I really got emotional. I cried. Not because it was sad. Well, it was sad, but not because it was sad, but because it stirred up such a weird nostalgic emotion in me that I'd not felt in years. It made me think about my mum, and it made me think about being a child and watching Hook and all of the memories that I kind of had from that. And it was the story that the girl tells. I was just crying, and it's a very, very good film. But that was my favourite part of it was when they went to the jungle area, and the kids were there and they were telling the stories and saying their own kind of language. That bit, it just really got me, and it's very Hook because obviously they're both based on that kind of, I don't remember what it's called, but there's a thing that they're both based on. That thing, you know the thing. There's a name. It was a book from years ago, I think, or a tale from years ago. though yesterday on TV in the last few days they had the first 4 Mission Impossible movies. Did they? Damn, I didn't see that. To be fair though, I can't watch them when they're on TV. One, I don't have a TV license, so I don't watch any live TV. I just buy physical media, and so I don't even have Netflix and stuff now. I did have, but now I don't have it. I just source my other stuff, or if I need to watch something that's on Netflix, then I'll get it. But I don't have it normally, if that makes sense. Yeah. Also, just to ask you guys, do you use VPNs? And the reason I say this is because I've started to use a VPN and I really enjoy it. But it was about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. When I say I started using a VPN, I mean it's within the last couple of months I've started using a VPN. This isn't an advert, but I had a company reach out to me, and I thought the best company that would be able to sponsor a video, and this is what I've always thought, is probably something to do with film or watching stuff, like a VPN, or what was the other thing? Or like a television company or something, but they don't sponsor people, or a snack company or something that's to do with watching films. But yeah, I didn't know if you guys use VPNs or be interested in VPNs, because I want to, if I ever do a sponsorship on the channel, I want it to be something that you would use, or that I think would kind of work with the people that watch the channel. I don't know. I don't want to alienate people by trying to sponsor something on the channel as well. But if I do it, I'm not going to do it unless they ask me, unless the company specifically asks me to do it, because I know some companies have said to creators that they need to put their sponsorship at the beginning. So unless they say that, I'm putting it at the end, so that you don't have to see it until right at the very end, before I do my reviews and trivia and stuff. I don't know. Somehow I'll put it in there, but yeah, I'm not going to slap bang it right in the middle of the video unless they ask for it in there. But yeah, because that would just take you away from the reaction. I also don't get why I've noticed lately, people have reacted to long films, for instance, and they'll post it in 2 parts. Why? Surely they're there to watch the film with you. Don't post it in 2 parts. I understand it with a TV series because they are parts, they're episodes, so yeah. Last couple of things. Yeah, Mission Impossible, I might watch those at some point in the future on the channel. You put them on DVR so that you can watch them whenever you want. Great idea. I have a lot of media that I've either bought over the years and I've now transferred that to digital hard drives and stuff, or I have a lot of digital media, which are those, or I have a lot of physical media. So that's the way I do it. If I had a way to record it off TV, if I had live TV and I could do that, then I would, but I don't even have a set-top box or anything. The only time, apart from YouTube now, the only time I watch anything that's not YouTube is when I make a video and I watch something, or if it's something I've seen, like when I watched Hook on that the other day, I just put that on in the background. Then I'll watch something I've seen, but anything new, I don't watch it now on purpose, because I keep thinking, oh, someone might ask me to watch that on the channel at some point, unless it's something I really want to watch, like Oppenheimer, for instance. I went to see that. But yeah, he was such a nice guy. Yeah, do you mean Pee Wee Herman? Because I know Longfoot said about, yes, I'm waiting for any Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventures reactions to come out. Yeah, do you know, because I've never seen Pee Wee Herman's videos. I watched someone did a location video of it the other day. He went in, it was a German guy, or Austrian guy, I might be wrong. He went into the Pee Wee's Playhouse, not into it, but into the garden and around the back. You might have seen the video, it's recommended to me, that's why I watched it. But I've not seen any of his films, and I don't know what they're like. They look like a bunch of fun and colourful and everything, so it looks like it'll be probably really good. So if you want to see it, I might watch it at some point. But yeah, having never seen him, I don't know what I'm in for. I also know he's in Matilda. He plays one of the cops in Matilda. But that's all I know. Oh, Red said, at least you won't be running out of Doctor Who anytime soon. Exactly. I've got a long time to go before I finish any Doctor Who. I missed that, so apologies, Red. It's funny because I know someone else that I call Red as well, and that's not their real name. But you're the YouTube Red. Not YouTube Red, that's a different thing entirely. That's a premium thing, I think. It used to be. I think wasn't that what YouTube Premium used to be? YouTube Red, I think. You mentioned Johnny Depp. I met him on set in the 80s. That's amazing. What were you doing when he was doing the TV show in 21 Jump Street? Oh, yes. I didn't know that was so until about 2 months ago, I didn't know it was a TV show. I know it was a film, and it was a film or TV show before that. And then there was another film that was made of it. And both of those films starred Channing Tatum, I want to say, and Jonah Hill. I think I've seen the first 21 Jump Street, but I've not seen the series. And it looks fairly good. Like, I love Johnny Depp. He's such a great guy. He was signing autographs and talking to fans. Honestly, you are so lucky. He really seems like such a charismatic guy. Now I know he's a lot more silent. He's a lot more quiet and in himself, and I think a lot of that is to do with the relationship situation that he was in. But outside of that, and even before that, he seems so quirky, so animated, and especially interviews, he seems so charming. Like I saw him in an interview it was something when he was a lot younger. Might have been Nightmare on Elm Street, because I know he's in that. I've seen that. In case anybody asks me to watch that this Halloween, I've seen Nightmare on Elm Street, and I really enjoy that film. It's good. I'm meant to also be watching. I've got something for Halloween as well. It's over there, but it's going to go up here. When I watch Halloween 2, I've got the pumpkin. It's a pumpkin head. Pumpkin head? Why did I say it like that? It's a pumpkin head that lights up on the inside. It's not got anything in the eyes or anything in the mouth. It's just like an open hole with like an LED that shines on the orange inside. And that's going to go here somewhere at the back. But yeah, I was meant to. So yesterday I was feeling very autumn Halloweeny, and I was going to record it yesterday until I realised I had some other stuff I had to do. So, and I had the dinner thing to do. So I didn't watch it yesterday. But I might do at some point, and I will do, because I know you wanted me to. So, wasn't a big fan of the Pee-wee TV show. I didn't even know there was a TV show. I know there was a film or a couple of films of it, because that's what I know. People are always saying about Pee-wee Herman's something. Is it Big Adventure or Playhouse? Or I know there is Playhouse. Maybe is that the show, Pee-wee Herman's Playhouse or something? So maybe that was what that house was from that we saw, that I saw the video of the other day. Again, I don't know, because I'm not watching it. As soon as I've seen it, I'll go, oh yeah, that was that scene. That was, yeah, and I'll know it. It's the same now when I watch things to do with films that I've seen, like Back to the Future, for instance. When I watch anything, like I've seen, I think it was the opening. Many years ago, I watched the opening to Gremlins. I think I'd rented it on DVD. Again, I haven't seen Gremlins, this is the thing. So I rented it on DVD from Blockbusters. I think something happened in the family, and we started watching it. I don't remember now, but it was years ago, and we started watching it. And so the only thing I know of Gremlins, and the only bit I've seen, is the opening sequence going over the town square. And realising it's, I think that's Gremlins, where it opens with the town square. It's snowy and stuff. And it's Hill Valley from Back to the Future. It's the same set they used. And there's apparently this scene. I tried finding a picture of it and I couldn't find it. But apparently there's a scene where, you know, the cinema from Back to the Future that he crashes into, apparently that is in a shot at some point, but is not the cinema. It was on like a film fact website that mentioned it, and I tried looking for it in the film, so maybe that's not in the film, but I tried finding it and I couldn't see it. So, but yeah, those, I will try and get those watched, number 1 and 2 of Gremlins, this Halloween as well, or Christmas. I don't know when to watch them. I know they're not specifically Christmas or Halloween, but I kind of feel like they are more of a Halloween Christmas film, so maybe do it in November. So end of October, beginning of November, into the December time. I found out Phil Hartman co-wrote Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Did he? No, I didn't know that. I mean, having not seen it. But no, Phil Hartman. I love Phil Hartman in Put That Cookie Down now. You know the film I'm on about. Him when he's going, your wife's cookie is so nice, or something he says. Oh, what film is that? That's it's the film about the toy, Jingle All the Way. It's Jingle All the Way. I love that film. I thought about rewatching that on the channel, because apparently there's a Jingle All the Way 2, which I have never seen. I didn't even know it was a thing, but it doesn't have them in it. Doesn't have Arnie in it. Doesn't have Phil Hartman. Doesn't have any of them. But I love the original. It's funny. It's got that sort of Home Alone-esque comedy, and I also haven't seen many of the the guy who produced Home Alone, not John Candy. Is it John? You know the guy I'm on about, the one who's John Hughes. Yeah, I haven't seen many of it. I've seen some of them. I've seen Breakfast Club, and I've seen. I love that film. I've seen Ferris Bueller. It's my favourite of his, I'd say. I love it at the end when he does. And I wanted to watch that on the channel for the first time. I've seen it years ago, but if I knew that I had the channel coming, I would have waited to see that on the channel, just for the pure fact that at the end of the video, I want to have that clip, probably on my end sequence of him going, "Hey, why are you still here? Go already!" You know that bit from the end of it. I want to have that bit on there. Maybe I should just have that as like a channel ending or something. But yeah, love that. What's your favourite John Hughes, if you've seen a lot of them? And are you a fan of them? He was such a nice guy. I tell reactors to post both parts together. Yeah, see, this is the thing. I would do the same. If like I think one of them I saw was, I've seen it with a few people actually, that it was Lord of the Rings. I'm not a Lord. I know you guys are probably gonna lynch me for it, but I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan. To be fair, I think that with a lot of people, a lot of fan bases, and with doing a movie channel, I feel like I should love everything, and I do love everything, but I don't really love Lord of the Rings. I suppose I probably like it as much as I like Game of Thrones, and I watched all of Game of Thrones, and I've seen all of the Lord of the Rings as well, but so it's not me saying I've never seen them, I don't want to watch them. It's just I like them, but I'm not a fan of them. But yeah, someone watched Lord of the Rings 1. I do love Gollum, by the way. Gollum, and I could do the voice as well. Anyway, I feel like I might have. I've said this a few times. I feel like I might have ADHD because I skip around all over the place. My dad does the same thing, but I was gonna say. I also get massive anxiety when things, like for the live, for instance, I had massive anxiety earlier today, trying to make sure I was on time. And apparently that's the thing with ADHD, I didn't know. Anyway, waffling, I think, is another sign. I've forgotten what I was talking about. Dang it. Never mind. If you guys... Oh, that was it. Lord of the Rings. Someone posted part 1 reaction to Lord of the Rings, and then part 2, and then obviously the film was like a 3-hour film, I think. I mean, I watched something. I mean, I watched Oppenheimer the other day, but I watched something for the channel. Oh, that was it. Was it 2001: Space Odyssey? That's a huge movie. That's 3 hours almost, or something. That had an intermission in the middle, and I thought maybe I should do this in 2 parts, but I didn't. I did it as 1 part. But yeah, some people do it as 2-parters, and always confuses me, befuddles me when they do it. I understand it, like if they've got, and this is the same thing as me when I've edited episodes of Doctor Who, for instance. I'll get 1 episode done, and I'm about to piece together the other episode to put as the second part in the same episode, and I go, oh, do I just post this out by itself because I've already done it? Maybe that's their thing. They've got halfway through, and it's taken them so long to do one half of the film. You know, the same amount of time it would take them to do a normal film. Maybe an hour and a half is their max, and then they put that out as is because it's such a long film. So I understand that from an editing perspective, but I don't know. I don't want to say anything harsh about any other creators, because I love some of the creators are just geniuses. And funnily enough, you know, I don't know if you know this, but on YouTube it tells me kind of who you guys watch, or what rough subscribers watch anyway, not specifically you guys, but roughly what other subscribers kind of watching the channels that you guys watch. Some of them I've never heard of, or some of them I've not seen, and again, I know they won't have heard of me, but a few of them are actually the ones that I watch as well, which I love. That one, you guys watch the same creators that I do. 2, it means that I feel like I'm doing something good, like I'm doing a good job with it, because I know all creators have the same kind of style, like them in the corner, and they cut the way they kind of edit the same way. I have my own quirky individual things that I do that other people don't do, but I watched many creators when I started the channel, trying to get a rough idea of what people did and the best way and the correct way to do it. Like to edit is what I mean, not to actually react, because reacting is just, you just react. But yeah, and quite a few of the people that you guys watch are the ones that I've taken some inspiration from and just built upon the knowledge that those guys kind of gave me, those 3 or 4, and then the other ones that I've seen, and all culminated into this kind of amalgamation of different things that I've picked up on. So yeah, it's interesting seeing that. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah. I am going to have to leave in a second, guys. I'm so sorry. I noticed a few of you have kind of left now. I think it's because it's starting to get into the day in America, and probably in Canada as well, I think. Probably is a reason why it's the best movie, Big Adventure, being co-wrote by Phil Hartman, which paired with Tim Burton. Wait, Tim Burton did Pee-wee? I'm going to have to see it, I think, now. I like Tim Burton stuff. I didn't know that. I didn't know he did Pee-wee. Johnny Depp on set. It was outside. They were doing a car chase scene, and he was talking to fans during a break. That's awesome. That is so cool. Yeah, he just seems like a really down-to-earth guy. So no, I'm really happy for you that you got to see him. Playhouse was the show, right? Okay, because someone mentioned Playhouse to me many years ago, as in Pee-wee's Playhouse, and I thought they were on about the film, so I just thought they were talking about the film. Big Adventure is worth reacting to. Okay, I'll have to check it out. It's on my list to watch, but again, I'm doing kind of Patreon requests as my main thing, and then I'm sliding in every now and then. I say every now and then, every film or so, I'm sliding in another film that you guys have requested, because I've got a massive list of them that if I had the time and if I had the energy, I would watch them all. So what I try and do is some days, a little insight, I sometimes watch multiple films in a day, like Mad Max, for instance. Number one, I watched one day. The second day, I watched, as in the day after, I watched Mad Max 2. Went for a coffee. I say went for a coffee. Made a coffee in the kitchen. Came back, had a bit of dinner, I think, and then watched Mad Max 3. Because I was trying to keep it fresh on my mind. I wasn't feeling 100%. I was a little bit under the weather, and I knew it was going to be a case of I needed to know what happened in the previous one. Hence why the first day I had a bit of a that was the start of when I felt a bit iffy. So when I watched that one, going to bed, I was like, no, I should have watched another one. I thought, no, it's fine. The next day, no matter how you feel, watch both of the other ones. And so originally it was meant to be the trilogy all in one day, but it was far too much. The first one I was knackered after watching, and so the second and the third one, even though I was knackered after the second one, 3 is my favourite. So number 1 is my favourite, and then 3 is my second favourite. But out of 2 and 3 that day, 3 is by far my favourite. I liked 2, but I don't know. I think it was the other storyline from 3 that really pulled me in. It's a very good film. Looking at the other messages, sorry. John Hughes, I guess I'd have to say Christmas Vacation. Yes! I always forget that Christmas Vacation is one of his films. I've seen Christmas Vacation 1 billion times. I think it's so funny, the scene where he goes in the shop, you know the scene I'm on about. He goes in the shop to buy his wife underwear, I think it is, and Russ comes up, which I didn't know, I think I've said this before, I didn't realise was Jonathan Galecki, whatever his name is, from Big Bang Theory, who plays the guy with the glasses, him. Yeah, I didn't realise that was him. But anyway, watching it again a couple of years ago or last year or whatever it was, I laughed my head off, and that scene comes on, he goes, "Hey Russ," and he carries on, "Russ!" It's so funny. I thought about watching that on the channel, but I've seen it already, so I don't know. If you want me to, I will. But then another one I haven't seen, though, of his, I don't know if he did it, John Hughes, was Holiday, as in National Lampoon's Holiday. I think that's what it's called. It's the one where they go to Wally World, I think, because I've seen the trailer to it. Because I was trying to remember, have I seen this? This was at Christmas last year because I wanted to watch one of their films as a bit of comedy, but didn't know if I'd seen Holiday. But so I never watched it because I had seen Christmas Vacation, and never got around to watching Holiday. But anyway, looking at this list, I'd have to say Christmas Vacation. Yes, yep, Christmas Vacation for sure. Is a great film. Big Adventure was Tim Burton's best movie. Really? I'm going to look up Tim Burton movies because we've not done much of a Google. I often do it when I do these to remember things. Tim Burton movies, I would have said one of my favourites is Edward Scissorhands. At least I think that's his. And I would say Beetlejuice, but I don't know if Beetlejuice is his. I think he's doing the new one, isn't he? Which I can't wait to see. Mars Attacks, bloody hell. Mars Attacks. I went a bit Ron Weasley there. Bloody hell. Mars Attacks is so cheesy. It horrified me as a kid. I watched it, not young, but I watched it fairly. I can't say I was young. It was 1996, but I watched it. Yeah, it frightened me when I first watched that, but it's such a good film. So out of his films, quickly running them off, I've seen Dark Shadows. I didn't realise I'd seen Dark Shadows, but I've seen the film. That's good. It was a good film, if that makes sense. It's like a B movie. Johnny Depp's a vampire, but it's funny. I don't know if it's meant to be funny, but I laughed at it. I thought it was really funny, and but it's bad at the same time, but good. Sweeney Todd is an incredible film. Such a good musical. I really enjoyed it. I had a real fanatical moment with that film. I would listen to the songs on repeat. I even did on my old channel, the one I was saying about from years ago, I did a skit. I did my own version of My Friends, the song. I dressed up as Sweeney Todd, put talcum powder on my face. And originally at that point I dyed my hair, I think, because I went grey at 16. I dyed my hair, but at that point the grey was starting to come through here on the quiff kind of flick area. And so it was like Sweeney Todd's hair, and that was what gave me the idea of doing this thing. And I dressed up the same. I had like the white shirt on with a waistcoat on and everything, and mouthed the song. It was good. I enjoyed doing it. Bit of fun. Alice in Wonderland, I always forget, is a Tim Burton film. I like Alice in Wonderland, the first one. Wasn't a massive fan of the second one. I really loved. I love the Mad Hatter's character, so anything Johnny Depp basically. I really love his character when he does every time he gets angry, he goes Scottish, which I think is funny when he does what's the line? Hang on, Alice in Wonderland. Mad Hatter quote. I've got it on the tip of my tongue. It's the name of the... It's not on the screen because it doesn't want to work, but the Futterwhack? Futterwacken. Yeah. When that day comes, I shall futterwacken. That sounds really rude. Vigorously. Love that. I love doing a Scottish accent, but I never get a chance to do it because of... I never do accents when I do the videos. Funny enough, when I do radio, I do like a billion accents because I like doing accents. I'm not that great, but I like doing them. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, again, not seen that. Corpse Bride, I think I've seen. Big Fish. Oh, I think that was a film. I think I saw it when it came out on DVD. But I don't remember any of it at all. But I remember seeing the cover and watching it on DVD, if that makes sense. But without remembering any of it. It's a very unrememberable film from my mind. Yeah, Edward Scissorhands I've seen. Sleepy Hollow, love that film, and I watched it again last Halloween. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, yeah, I've not seen it. Batman... I think I saw it when I was young. Yeah, Beetlejuice. He did Beetlejuice, yeah. I thought he did more than that. I don't know why. And again, Batman Returns. Yeah, I think I've seen them as a kid. Planet of the Apes, though, not seen. I know. I should see it. I know. Edward Scissorhands is your second favourite movie. Great taste. It's one of my... When I think of Tim Burton, and I suppose Johnny Depp as well, but when I think Tim Burton, I think Edward Scissorhands. That, and I don't know why, I thought he did the Addams Family movies. You know, I say the originals, but not the original show, but the Addams Family movies, the ones that had Jenna Ortega. Not Jenna Ortega. Sorry, it's because of... What's her name? She plays Wednesday in that, and I kept thinking of Jenna Ortega, who's in everything now, and she's in the new Beetlejuice as well. I like her, but I don't want her to become the new Johnny Depp, you know, where he's just casting her and everything. Who am I thinking of? That girl. You've probably said it in the chat, so apologies if you have. Christina Ricci, yeah. Funnily enough, Wednesday, the TV show, apparently Christina Ricci is in it. At some point, she plays like a teacher or something. I've not seen the Wednesday TV show. And when it came out, I wanted to, but then it became a meme, and everybody had this whole trend of talking about Wednesday and watching it, so I just didn't watch it. The one show I think I did kind of keep up with people watching was You, but I've not seen the new series yet. The TV show about the guy who's quite psychotic. Yeah. But if you want to see the new one, I'll watch that. Same with Black Mirror. I stayed up to date with Black Mirror, but I haven't seen the new series. It's meant to be very good, but I don't know. I'm fairly patient when it comes to movie reactions. Thank you, Longfoot. With it, I figure eventually reactors will get around to all the good ones. Yes, and I will do, because I've got so many. Like, someone's asked me to, I'll say someone, a lot of people have asked me to watch 2010, which is the follow-on from 2001, Our Space Odyssey. So it's 2010, the year we made contact, and that is on my list to watch. I've got it. I've got the copy of it to watch. Just haven't got around to watching it yet, but that is one of the ones I'm gonna. Same with, I've had Journey to the Centre of the Earth on my list for ages, since the start of the channel pretty much. Same with, which I've got the copy of now. I've got the digital copy of it now, so I can get it, so I can watch it. And Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, I want to say it's called. That's another one that I think I've got the copy of now. Yeah, sometimes I don't have them at the time, or sometimes I have like the DVD copy of it, but I don't have. It's not good enough, because I like it to be good quality if it's going to be on the video. The only time it can't be good quality is if it's Goosebumps, or Doctor Who, for instance, at the moment is a bit more grainy and bad quality than what I would like, but it's great for editing because it makes it a lot quicker to edit, because it's faster in the editing software. But if I can get it good, I try to make it as good so it's watchable for you guys. I'd rather you watch the first Vacation, to be honest. Wait, which is the first Vacation? I thought Holiday was the first one. It's National Lampoons, isn't it? Is that what it's called? National Lampoon's Vacation? I thought there was only one Vacation. I thought there was only one Vacation. Holy shoot. Guys, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? What, 2015? Oh, was that the advert I saw a little while ago? Well, a little while ago. It was many years ago now, but yeah, Chevy Chase is in it, but he's older. Because it's him nowadays. Oh, and it's Ed Helms as the main guy. Oh, he plays Russell. Oh, he plays Russ. Oh, they should have got Jonathan Galecki back to play him. That would have been so cool. Because he's kind of as he was back in them days anyway. Sorry, I hit the mic a minute ago. But is Beverly D'Angelo the girl, the woman who plays from the original? Yes, she is, yeah. I still love, in Christmas Vacation, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but in Christmas Vacation, the scene when the police burst through the door, the wife cups his groin. I feel like no one's seen that bit, because no one seems to know the bit I'm on about. But I always think it's hilarious that they burst through the door and she goes and cups his groin. It's funny. I don't know why. To protect the crown jewels, maybe? I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. Alright, guys, I'm going to end very shortly. Sorry, I've been on a long time and I really need to get up tomorrow, and I've still got to eat dinner and then get to bed. So I'm so sorry. Just finishing the last of these chats mentions. Plus my brain is starting to switch off. I'd rather watch the first Vacation, to be honest. I tend to prefer those first movies, generally speaking. Okay, cool. So when I get around to them, this is the thing now. If someone asks me to watch a film franchise or a film, like for instance when I said about someone asked me to watch Mad Max 3, when I get asked to watch something, I'm now going to be watching the first one first, so you're going to have to wait until I watch that. But if you're asking for the first one, fantastic. So yeah, I'd watch all of them from the start anyway. The same with when I know recently I've seen The Bad News Bears, that's it. And I saw the new one with Billy Bob Thornton. And people are like, oh, you should have seen the first one. So that is my next thing to do, is to watch the first one and go back on myself. And I felt bad that I didn't watch the first one first, but I will. Yeah. I believe I found your channel from the 2001 reaction. Hey, nice. Yeah, it's one of my favourite films to have watched because I was astounded by that film. I loved it. So yeah, anything you see of mine, genuine reactions to it, whenever I'm astounded for it. If I'm upset, I'm upset. You can tell. You can tell. I love it though. I love 2001. Edward Scissorhands though, second favourite movie. What's your first favourite movie though? Addams Family does have that Tim Burton vibe, but I don't think it was him. Yeah, apparently it wasn't him, because there was 2 or 3 of them, and I've seen the first one. I want to say it was Addams Family Values. Was that the second one though? Yeah, Addams Family Values was the second one from 1993. Addams Family Reunion. Not seen that one. That was 1998. Is that the same cast? I'm clicking on it because I'm not sure. Oh, it had Tim Curry. Love Tim Curry. Yeah, it looks like the same cast. No. Just noticed that Jerry Messing as Pugsley and Nicole Fugger as Wednesday. I do not remember her at all. So no, I've not seen it. She looks evil. Well, I know she's meant to be an evil character, technically, but... So I've seen the first one, and I love that Uncle Fester is Christopher Lloyd. And I love the first one, and I feel like I may have seen Values. But the thing I was coming to check... Maybe I haven't seen Values. Did I? The thing I was coming to check, the director, Barry Sonnenfeld. Or Barry Sonnenfeld. But nothing to do... Oh, I banged the mic again. Was it Tim Burton? I want to see if anyone else thinks the same thing as us. Why Tim Burton never touched the Addams Family franchise? It's also weird that now he does Wednesday as well. Or he did Wednesday. Is the Addams Family based on Tim Burton? Tim Burton in 2010 was set to direct and produce a stop-motion animated film adaptation of the Addams Family. I'm starting to lose it. But he eventually passed it on. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. What are some of your films that you'd love me to watch though on the channel? Because for me, I have an eclectic taste. I watch anything. Well, mostly anything. Stuff like The Human Centipede, I'm not watching that. I've never seen it, never want to watch it. Like the real gore stuff, probably not. I think that was one of the reasons I stopped. I've watched it outside of the channel, but I stopped watching Cabinet of Curiosities on the channel because I realised it was a bit too gory, and I don't know if YouTube would have liked that. So I kept having to cut out a lot, so I thought probably best not to watch it. But yeah. So okay, the next, before we potentially end, I don't know yet, unless you guys want to chat about anything else. But I do have to go soon. Next videos are going to be the Oppenheimer review. Imagine if it was a reaction so early. Just sat in the theatre with a camera and a tripod. Somehow not able to, get the film there. It's just a live reaction. Oh, I'm getting tired as well. Yeah, so it'll be I was going to say Addams Family. Oppenheimer review. Last of Us episode 9, which is the finale. Then it will be Mad Max 2. And then Doctor Who. But I am going to try and get these next couple of videos out quicker. So the review of Oppenheimer should be out in the next few days, because that is done. It's dusted, it's on the channel. I need to try and find out if I can get the copyright thing sorted before I put it out. If I can't, I'm going to have to just let that take one for the team and just put it out as is. But yeah, that one's there. Then the other one is going to go out probably either end of this week or early next week. Probably early next week. So if we put out maybe Oppenheimer's reaction Thursday? Review. I keep saying reaction. Maybe put it out Thursday. Gives me enough time to get it cleared, etc. Yeah, early next week. Then we put out Last of Us episode 9, and then maybe that'll also give me enough time to finish the project I've got to do. That's got to be in by Friday the 18th, I think it is, or done for Friday the 18th. And then the week after that would be Mad Max 2. I know it's a little while before the next film reaction. This is annoying because I wanted to get it done quicker, but I haven't been able to because of everything. So apologies. But there will be another one soon. But yes. And Doctor Who. Doctor Who will be as soon as it possibly can as well. I haven't edited the next one yet. The uncut is up on Patreon. But no, is it? I did it again. I whacked the mic. Yeah, the uncut isn't on Patreon for the next ones, I don't think. That was what I was meant to do. I was meant to get a couple of other uncuts done before I'm taking on this project, but never mind. I'm so sorry. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed the live, guys. I'm gonna leave it there for today because I have got to go. But take care. Hope you have an amazing day. I probably should do it and end it like I normally do, but take care. And so thank you so much for joining the chat. I want to see who is in the chat so I can say thank you. If you're watching, say hi so I can say thank you. I don't know how else to do it because it doesn't tell me who is in the chat. I click participants and it doesn't. Or should I say who's watching? Or does it? It says that Longfoot's here. And it now doesn't give me the chat. The chat's gone. No! Chat, come back. Okay, oh, there you go. It's come back. Haha. I'll suggest any movies that pop into my mind while watching your future videos. I like your channel. Good day to you. Thank you so much, Longfoot. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around for so long as well in the live. Yeah, it's been over 3 hours I've been on live today. There was me going, maximum 2 hours. I'll be 1 to 2 hours, I promise. Now, yeah, I went over a little bit. Sorry. Anyway, have an epic day. Whatever you're going to do, enjoy everything. And you can see my live end of a video now because I try and end as concisely as possible normally. But I'm now going to go and eat some food before I get to bed because it's 8:42 and you can hear my stomach growling. But have a wonderful day. Take care. Stay safe. And I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully. And yeah, if you like this kind of thing, then feel free to subscribe or like the video. I don't know why I said that because this is a live video, but feel free to. Have a lovely day, guys. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. And now I've got to end it after that. But yeah, I appreciate all of you being here. I'll figure out how to end it now. I thought that was the end. I was like, we're ended, but we're not. Bye guys. Take care.